Park. I'm Andy Musser along with Harry Callis, Rich Ashburn, and here's Chris Wheeler with tonight's lineup.
Okay, Andy, thank you. For the Montreal Expos, they'll go with Ellis Valentine in right field. Dave Cash will play second base and bat number 2. Andre Dawson, the center fielder, will hit number 3. Gary Carter will catch and bat 4th. Tony Perez at first base, he'll hit number 5. Larry Parrish will play third base and hit 6th. Del Unser will be in left field, he'll bat number 7. The shortstop will be Chris Spire, he'll hit number 8. And the pitcher tonight will be right-hander Steve Rogers. For the Philadelphia Phillies, Bake McBride will lead off and play right field. Larry Boa, the shortstop, batting second. Mike Schmidt at third base, he'll hit number 3. Greg Luzinski back in the lineup tonight, batting 4th and playing left field. Richie Hebner at first base, hitting number 5. Gary Maddox in center field will hit number 6. Bob Boone, the catcher, batting 7th. Ted Sizemore at second base will hit number 8. The pitcher, right-hander Jim Lonborg.
During tonight's Phillies game, each Philly that homers receives a free case of Tasty Cake, and the same goes for Topton Lutheran Home. The umpires tonight, Eric Gregg will call balls and strikes, Billy Williams at first, Dick Stello at second, and Bruce Fleming at third base. This broadcast is authorized under rights granted by the Phillies solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, or other use of the description and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Phillies is prohibited. The announcers on this broadcast are retained by WPHL-TV, subject to the approval of the Phillies, who furnish us gratis with the services of Chris Wheeler. Well, tonight, Jim Lonborg will make his seasonal debut for the Phillies, and he has always had good success against the Montreal Expos. Lonborg 3-0 last year against them and 13-8 lifetime. As Big Ellis Valentine gets ready to step in and lead it off for Montreal. They have moved Dave Cash down to the number 2 spot, as Chris told you when he gave the lineups. That's a bit of a surprise this year, but it seems to be working so well so far because both Valentine and Cash have good averages at the plate. Lonborg goes into his windup. Here's the first pitch of the ball game. Big swing and a miss by Valentine, strike 1. He has 7 hits. He and Spire lead the Expos with 7 hits apiece. And Valentine is batting .368. The right-hander winds. Here's his next pitch. It backs Valentine off. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ozzie Virgil coaching at third base, and Billy Gardner at first base for Montreal. Here's Lonborg's 1-1 pitch, and it's very high, ball 2. This afternoon, the Cubs won their game at Shea Stadium, New York, knocking off the Mets for the second day running 4-2. Ray Burris the winner, his first decision. Nino Espinosa the loser. Swing and a miss on a slider by Valentine. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tonight in the San Diego-Atlanta game, Gaylord Perry will work for the Padres. Jamie Easterly, the starting pitcher for the Braves. The 2-2 pitch is a 1-hopper to shortstop. Boa gloves it, throws across in time, and Valentine is out. Valentine grounding out to shortstop Boa. That's the first out of the ball game, and here's Dave Cash. Well, Cash has been a tough customer for the Phillies last year. He batted .313 for the Expos with 21 hits against the Phillies. A strike for Cash. Dave carrying a .333 average. Lonborg winds, and the next pitch is a ground ball to Schmidt. It bounces away from him. Mike spins around, picks it up, throws to first in time. Good recovery by Schmidt. He did a 360-degree turn as that ball bounced toward Boa's side. He picked it up and threw him out, and Timmy McCarver doing his Mike Schmidt imitation in the dugout.
Oh, I wish the people could see McCarver imitating Mike Schmidt down there. Mike Schmidt, Tim McCarver says, is the captain of the all-cool team, and makes fun of Timmy in the dugout.
The batter, Andre Dawson, with 2 outs and nobody on. Dawson batting .125, a right-handed hitter. The pitch to him, another ground ball to Schmidt. This one stays in the glove. There'll be no imitation this time, but the throw to first hops, and Hebner pulled it out. A nice play by the first baseman. So very quickly, the Expos are retired in order. At the end of a half inning, Montreal nothing, and the Phillies coming up. The Expos out 1-2-3 in the top half of the first inning, and the Phillies will start it with Bake McBride, Larry Boa, and Mike Schmidt. Incidentally, it's official now that game last night that was rained out will be made up on July 5th, a single night game that night. It had previously been scheduled as an off day. The Phillies made an official release today saying that The postponement with the Expos was made possible by a vote of the players. And so all tickets that had been issued for last night's ball game will be honored on July 5th. And those wishing to exchange tickets, they may do so by the 15th of June. McBride at the plate. He takes outside ball one from right-hander Steve Rogers, who lost his first decision last Friday to the New York Mets. Pitching 6 innings, giving up 6 hits and 3 runs. Here's the right-hander's next delivery. It's a fastball low. 2 balls and no strikes to McBride, batting at .308. A statistical oddity is that the first 3 batters in the Phillies lineup all carry .308 averages to the plate. Here's the next pitch by Rogers. Swing and a foul ball right at the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike to McBride. The Phillies have beaten Rogers 7 straight times. The last time he beat the Phillies, it was June of 1975. The 2-1 pitch to McBride. Inside, ball 3.
Phillies may have had some luck with this guy, but make no question about it, he's really a tough customer. He's a sinker slider type of pitcher. He keeps the ball down. He's a good AstroTurf pitcher because he throws the ground balls and takes the sting out of the bat, and he's a real competitor, and the Phillies have been fortunate against him.
And here's a strike called. McBride had backed out of the box and apparently did not get time, and the pitch was made by Rogers, and it will go as a called strike. And here comes Danny Ozark out of the dugout to talk it over with Eric Gregg, the umpire from Bala Cynwyd. And you're not allowed to argue balls and strikes, and so Danny's he's on very tender turf right now, if you will, going out and even discussing this.
Well, all he wants to do is ask Eric Gregg why he didn't give Bake McBride time. The umpire doesn't have to do it. Sometimes he might be concentrating on the upcoming pitch, and he doesn't see the batter step out or ask for time. And it looked like Bake stepped out in plenty of time and put his hand back to him to ask for it, and Eric Gregg just paid no attention to him and called the pitch a strike. And I think Danny's just trying to make a point to the rookie umpire that, hey, you know, my batter steps out, at least give him the benefit of calling timeout. And I'm sure what Eric Gregg did was say, hey, you can't argue about balls and strikes, and that's not why Danny came out.
The conversation continues. Ozark's still out there. Gregg putting the mask back on, and now Danny is headed down toward first base, and I guess he wants to talk it over with Billy Williams, who is the umpire at first. And Billy, you can clearly see from here, is motioning Danny to go back to the dugout.
Well, he'll catch a tough customer now when he goes down to Billy Williams, because he's one of the more adamant umpires in the league. I guess that's a nice way to put it. And Billy's a good umpire, but he doesn't take any guff from anybody, and I'm sure he doesn't want any part of this.
Meantime, the third base umpire, Bruce Fremming, and Gregg meet halfway between home and third for a very brief conference. It's a 3-ball, 2-strike count on the Phillies' leadoff batter, Bake McBride. Bake has always hit well against Montreal with a .357 lifetime average, and Danny now headed back into his seat in the dugout. No score in the ball game. Phillies batting in the last half of the first inning. Rogers winds. Here's the full count pitch. It's a pop foul ball out of play behind the plate. Last year, McBride had 3 hits and 6 tries against Rogers after being traded to the Phillies, and one of those hits was a home run. The Phillies start their first road trip of the season tomorrow with an exhibition game at Oklahoma City. Here's a pitch low, ball 4, and McBride is on base. Rogers walks the first batter he faces, and the Phillies get a leadoff man on. Larry Boa will bat. Larry, a switch hitter, will face Steve Rogers as a left-handed batter. Rogers, the ace of the Montreal staff from Jefferson City, Missouri, is now 28 years of age, and this is his 6th big league season. He stretches, throw to first. McBride gets back easily. Rogers had a fine season last year, and in May he was particularly hot, winning 5 games and pitching 5 complete games. This pitch to Boa is grounded foul off the first base side, strike 1.
The ideal situation for Larry Boa. Bake McBride on first base, and being the good base runner that he is, Tony Perez, the first baseman, has to hold Bake on, and Dave Cash will pinch Boa up the middle a little bit and flap for the double play. And it really gives Larry a good hole to shoot through, and really helps him as a hitter, a number 2 hitter, to have a leadoff guy like Bake McBride on base so much.
1 strike, the count to Boa. McBride taking a good lead, and Rogers checks him back with another throw over that way. When the Phillies resume National League play on Friday night at St. Louis, Steve Carlton will get the start against Mark Littell. We were led to believe that he was going to be a relief pitcher with the Cardinals this year. Boa sends a ground ball to second base. Cash over to Spire for one. Back to first. A double play. McBride erased on the double play, which went Cash, Spire, Perez. And there are two down for the Phillies. A perfect double play ball tapped softly to Cash at second base, and Dave started the double play. Here's Mike Schmidt. He's also batting .308. Schmidt leading the Phillies in runs batted in with 4. Rogers winds. Here's the pitch to the right-handed batter. Low and inside, ball 1.
Andy, if both these pitchers have their good stuff tonight, Lonborg and Steve Rogers, you should see a lot of ground balls. They both rely on keeping the ball down, and they both throw the good sinking fastball.
Pitch on the way to Mike is low. 2 balls and no strikes, and it will be particularly tough on the right-handed batter. I know Rogers has a fastball that tails in on the right-handed hitters, and it really is tough for them. 2-0 the count to Mike Schmidt. Rogers ready with the next pitch. It's a ground ball to third base. Parrish picks it out. His throw across is in time, and the Phillies are down in the first inning. No runs, no hits, and nobody left. At the end of 1, it's scoreless. We talked about the Phillies' forthcoming road trip. Remember, the Phillies will be back in town on April 24th, 25th, and 26th. That'll be the series against the Chicago Cubs Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday nights. In fact, when the Phillies come back off that road trip, they'll be playing 16 of their next 18 games right here at Veterans Stadium. The Cubs, Padres, Mets, Astros, and Reds will all be in town during that time. Gary Carter leads it for Montreal in the second inning. Carter batting .333. Lonborg's pitch to the right-handed batter is low, ball 1. Ball 1 to Carter. He led the Expos in home runs last year. Swing and a miss on a slider. 1 ball, 1 strike. Carter to be followed by Perez and Parrish. Lonnie started into his motion, then stopped. Now he's ready to go, and here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a foul ball, and Carter was really fooled by that slider.
The Montreal Expos have been in the past and are this year, again, a very right-handed hitting team, Andy, and Lonborg has had good success against them because of that. Jim has a real good, quick slider that he uses against the right-handed batters, and he's had good luck with this team.
The 1-2 pitch is high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Last year, Lonnie defeated Montreal 3 times without defeat. He has 13 lifetime decisions against the Expos. And Lonnie has had good success against this team in big ball games, too. You'll recall, of course, that the Phillies clinched their 1976 Eastern Division title in a game at Jarry Park against the Expos. Lonborg on the hill that day. The 2-2 delivery to Carter is fouled back. And from a hitting standpoint, you might recall that Lonborg once hit a grand slam home run at Jarry Park. That was back in '74. He hit that off Chuck Taylor. And so the Expos know the name of Jim Lonborg. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Carter. Swing and a miss. He struck him out on a low fastball. Carter goes down swinging, first out of the second inning. Here's Tony Perez. Well, Tony, in his first year with the Expos last season, came up with another 90 RBI year, his 11th consecutively. The pitch to the strong right-handed batter is low, ball 1. This year, Tony off to a bit of a slow start. He's 177. The Expos won only 1 of 4 games in New York, but they have a .290 team batting average. Here's a broken back ground ball to Schmidt at third base. Mike picks it out and throws across in time for the out. And the fat part of the bat also wound up very near to Schmidt at third base. He really had to concentrate to make that play. And of the 5 outs in the ball game, 3 have been ground balls to Schmidt.
That was a good pitch by Lonnie. It was a fastball on the outside part of the plate and down, and Perez tried to pull the ball, and he just hit it on the end of the bat and broke it off. And like we said earlier, Lonborg, if he's throwing well against this team, will get a lot of ground ball outs.
Larry Parrish, who has batted safely in 3 straight and carries a .444 average to the plate. He's a tall right-handed batter. Here's Lonnie's first delivery. Slider is on the inside corner, a strike. Parrish has already knocked in 3 runs for Montreal. The 1-strike delivery, a fastball, is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Parrish is a guy that they've been looking for to be a good player for a long time. He had a super winter ball, a great spring training, and he started off well, so this might finally be it for him.
Here's a foul ball out of play off the first base side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The fans up in Montreal seem to give him a tough time. I really don't know why.
Well, I don't know either. He's just one of those players they boo. It seems like he makes a lot of errors on easy plays and then makes a spectacular play, and that's what they seem to get on him for.
Lundborg's 1-2 pitch is again fouled off by Parrish. Pete McCannon, longtime infielder on this club, was farmed out this year.
Well, this guy, his history, Andy, has been that he's been susceptible to breaking balls, and the Phillies throw him a lot of off-speed stuff, a lot of sliders, curveballs, and changeups, and that's the way they work him.
Swing and a miss, and there was a slider. Lundborg strikes him out, and he has another 1-2-3 inning. Expos down in order in the second. At the end of 1.5, no score. Phillies in the second inning will start with Greg Luzinski, and maybe last night's rainout did the Phils a favor in a way because the Bull was not scheduled to be in the lineup, and tonight he's right back in there without missing a beat. He has driven in a run in every game so far, though he carries a .222 average to the plate. Here's Rogers' pitch to him. It's low, ball 1. No score in the game as the Phillies bat in the second inning facing right-hander Steve Rogers. He walked the leadoff batter in the game, but then a double play erased the runner. A curveball misses the strike zone, 2-0. Bull to be followed by Hebner and Maddox. Phillies in the second inning. Rogers has the sign, and here's his pitch. A fastball is over, a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike to Luzinski. Greg last year knocked in 6 runs batting against Rogers. He was 3 for 11 off him. Steve Reddy, the 2-1 pitch to the ball is a ground ball toward the hole, but cut off by Parrish. His throw crosses in time, and Luzinski is out. Greg grounds out 5-3 to start the second inning, and Richie Hebner will bat. He leads the Phillies with 5 hits. Hebner sporting a .625 average. Richie complaining before the ball game. He is one of the Phils who caught a weekend cold, and he says, I've got the chills right now. But he's hanging in there. Wants to bat against the right-handed pitcher. Fastball misses outside, ball 1.
A lot of sniffling going on in the clubhouse right now. A lot of guys think they caught their cold Saturday night in that wind and come up from Florida where it's 80 degrees for all that time in that cold weather, and everybody's sick right now.
1-0 to Hebner as a hard ground ball back toward the middle. Cash to his right. He throws on the run. He bounced it over, but Perez pulled it out. Nice play by Perez, and Hebner is out of there. So Cash fielded that ball moving toward second and fired on the run in time to get Hebner for the second out. 2 down in the Phillies' second. It brings up Gary Maddox. Gary, a good start, batting .364. Maddox stepping in, right-handed batter. Pitch on the way, and it's a fly ball sliced down the right field side. Valentine heading for the line, crosses the line, catches that ball underhanded in foul territory on the run. A good running play by right fielder Ellis Valentine, and the Phillies are out in order in the second. At the end of 2, no score. Now time for a tasty break. Here's Del Unser leading it off for the Expos, and Lundborg puts one on the outside corner, strike 1. The left-handed batting Unser is off to a good start. He's batting .417. Lundborg winds. Here's the pitch to him. Swing and a ground ball to first base. Hebner gets the short hop, runs to the bag himself in time for the out. And we pause for station identification along the Phillies Baseball Network.
At 8:02, this is KYW Philadelphia. AccuWeather says clear and mild tonight, the low 50. Tomorrow, sunny, windy, and mild with a chance of a brief shower, the high 72. Right now, 64 degrees and clear on Independence Mall.
The batter, Chris Spire. He and Valentine share the Montreal club lead in hits with 7. Spire, a right-hander, sends a very high foul ball down the left field side, way out of play. Strike 1 to Spire, who's batting .438. Spire is the only Expo who has hit safely in all of their games thus far. Lonborg's one-strike pitch is low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. In fact, Spire has already had a 4-hit game this season. He got that against the Mets on the 8th of April. A 1 ball, 1 strike pitch, low and inside. 2-1. Lonborg has already picked up 2 strikeouts, got them both in the 2nd inning. Veteran right-hander winds, and here's his pitch. Foul ball right at the plate. No, it stays fair. It trickles out in front. Picked up by Boone. He throws him out. I thought that ball might have been foul. I thought it might have hit off Spire, but it did not. It rolled 6 feet in front of the plate, and Boone tossed him out. So Spire is out on what amounted to a swinging bunt for the 2nd out of the inning. And here's pitcher Steve Rogers. He's the last man that Lonnie needs to work his way through the lineup one time perfectly. Rogers pitching in his 2nd game this year, so he's already been to the plate, and he has a hit. He's 1 for 2. Lonborg misses low and outside, ball 1. Here's a ground ball cut off by Mike Schmidt at third. He picks it up and throws across in time, and Lonborg has worked his way through the lineup perfectly as the Expos go down in the 3rd. At the end of 2.5, no score. Bob Boone will start the Phillies' 3rd inning. In the American League this afternoon, Boston beat Cleveland 6-3. Mike Torres winning his first game in a Sox uniform. The losing pitcher was Wayne Garland. He is now 1-1. Rice and Lynn hit home runs for the Red Sox. Chicago over Toronto 5-4. Steve Stone the winner, and Dave Lemanchek the loser. And there were 3 home runs for the White Sox. First pitch to Boone is a fastball, high, ball 1. George Orta, who's been hot, he's got 3 of them now. Wayne Nordhagen and Ralph Garr all hit Chicago home runs. Bob Boone batting 167, takes low, ball 2, 2-0. And Milwaukee knocked off the Yankees again, 5-3. The winning pitcher, Moose Haas, he struck out 14. The losing pitcher is Gossage, and that's his 2nd defeat. Spencer and Nettles homered for the Yankees. Heisel and Bando for Milwaukee. Ground ball to third base. Parrish has it easily, and his throw is in time, though it was low and had to be backhanded by Perez at first. 1 out. Boone grounds out, and Ted Sizemore will hit. So far, there has not been a hit in this ball game for either side. The Phillies have had the lone base runner. It was a leadoff walk to McBride, but he wasn't out there very long as Larry Boa grounded into a double play. Sizemore hitting 167. Rogers' delivery is over for a strike. Rogers has the sign from Carter. Swing and a miss by Sizemore, and he lost the bat. Usually when a player swings and misses and the ball and the bat gets away, it goes out in fair territory. Size was all the way around on this one, and it went back behind the plate. No balls and 2 strikes to Ted Sizemore. The 0-2 pitch from Rogers. Swing and a miss, a slider. And he picks up his first strikeout. Sizemore strikes out for the 2nd out of the 3rd inning, and that'll bring up Jim Lonborg.
I guess you'd have to say that the pitchers are dominating the action. Now, we did say before the game that there'd probably be a lot of ground ball outs tonight if these guys are throwing well, and so far it looks like they're both pitching very well. They're throwing a lot of strikes and keeping the ball down, and that's the way you win.
Here's the first delivery to Lonborg, and he fouls it back, a strike. We'd like to salute some of our network stations tonight that carry our broadcasts. In Shamokin, Pennsylvania, WISL AM and FM. In Sunbury, Pennsylvania, you hear the Phillies on WKOK FM. In Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, WBRE AM. Lonborg fouls off another pitch, 0-2. In the Wilkes-Barre Scranton area, WBRE FM. In Williamsport, Pennsylvania, WRAK. And hello to our good friends in Atlantic City, New Jersey on WFPG. And in the Princeton-Trenton area, don't forget WHWH. All of these folks carrying Phillies baseball, and most of these stations have been with us now for quite some time. Lonborg takes a pitch low, and the count to Lonnie is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Rogers winds. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a foul right at the plate. In the Millville, Vineland area of New Jersey, hear the Phillies on WMVB. In Wildwood, New Jersey, WCMC-FM carries Phillies baseball. In Milford, Delaware, WTHD. Lonborg takes one inside, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Also in Milford, Delaware, WAFL-FM. And in Wilmington, WDEL. Lonborg sends a line drive into center field, a base hit. Lonnie gets the first hit of the ball game for either side as he hangs in there after being down 0-2, and that was a solid single to center field. So the Phillies have a 2-out runner as Jim Lonborg goes down to first, and that brings up Bake McBride, the only other man who has been on base tonight. Here's Bake McBride, left-handed batter. Don Sutton will pitch for the Dodgers tonight, and Joe Niekro will be going for the Astros, that game in the Dome. Sutton won his only previous start, and Joe Niekro is 0-1. Rogers from the stretch. Fastball inside, and Bake has to bend back. Ball 1. Phillies won their first series over the St. Louis Cardinals this weekend, taking 2 out of the 3. And they'll be meeting the Cardinals again in St. Louis Friday night. Pitch to McBride is a slider that's outside. 2 balls and no strikes to Bake. Billy DeMars coaches third. Tony Taylor at first for the Phillies. No ball game tomorrow. The Phils will be in an exhibition game at Oklahoma City. Here's a ground ball tapped toward Cash. Dave gets a big hop, plays over to Spire for the force out, and the inning is over. So for the Phillies in the third, no runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left on base. Harry Callis will have the play-by-play for you in a moment. And at the end of 3, still no score.
Back at Veterans Stadium, Harry Callis along with Chris Wheeler. 0-0 ball game. Only 1 hit in the game. That by Jim Lonborg. And leading off for the Montreal Expos will be the top of the order, Ellis Valentine. Valentine grounded out his first time up. Ellis hit .293 last year with 25 homers, and the pitch to him is high and inside for a ball. 1-0 the count to Valentine. Here's Lonborg's 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Mighty cut by Valentine, who falls down at the plate after the swing, and he is hurt. Valentine took a tremendous cut, and he's holding his right knee. He missed the pitch, and Valentine is down and obviously in a great deal of pain.
Well, that's really a shame. Like Harry said, he took a wicked rip at that pitch, and you could see he immediately went off balance when he swung at it. Comes the pitch again. I think it was a fastball. It is. It's a high fastball that he took a swing at, and he grabbed his knee right away. And gosh, I hope there's nothing wrong with him, because he's one of the really good young talents in this league right now.
Ellis Valentine is still down, clutching his right knee. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike to Ellis Valentine, and the Expos trainer is out along with manager Dick Williams.
You might remember, Harry, in this ballpark last year in that long rain delay doubleheader, Ellis Valentine hit a ball off his left shin, and he still wears a shin guard because of it, and actually off his instep, but he was out for almost 2 weeks after that, and I guess he's got to think that home plate area in Veterans Stadium is a jinx to him.
Trying to stretch out his knee a bit. Ellis Valentine is being helped to his feet. He is walking around under his own power at this point.
I guess that's a terrible feeling when you're an athlete, and maybe nothing happened. He might have just felt something pop a little bit, and I guess your first inclination is, oh my, what have I done to myself? And you don't want to move, and it looks like he's not hurt as seriously as you might have thought at first. He might have just strained something.
Valentine continuing to walk around and now walks toward the Expos dugout. Might have just popped something, because Valentine Looks at this point like it's nothing real serious. The Expos may decide as a precautionary measure to take him out of the ball game, however.
They probably should. Yeah, they're going to.
Valentine is going into the dugout, and Montreal is going to make a change. So the Expos, who are without Warren Cromartie has a pulled hamstring muscle, now are forced to use another outfielder. Well, this is the final game of this homestand. The Phillies will be on the road at St. Louis, Pittsburgh, and Montreal before returning home on the 24th against the Chicago Cubs. Warren Cromartie is going to come out. So Cromartie, who is favoring a pulled hamstring, nonetheless is going to be called into the ball game. He'll assume the count at 1-1 strike. Chicago Cubs will be the first team in on our next homestand on the 24th, 25th, and 26th. And we have a big weekend with the San Diego Padres, and that'll be batting glove weekend. April 28th, all youngsters 14 or under getting a batting glove autographed by Mike Schmidt. On the 29th, the batting glove autographed by Gary Maddox. And on Sunday, the 30th, the batting glove autographed by Greg Luzinski. Batting glove weekend. Mark it down in your calendars against the San Diego Padres. Cromartie is up there. Here's the 1-1 pitch to him, and he swings and he misses. Following the 2 strikes to Warren Cromartie. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Cromartie. Checked, and it's a little bit inside. It's 2-2. Cromartie, a part of the very fine young outfield posted by the Expos. Here's the pitch to him. Swings and he misses. Struck him out with a changeup. 3rd strikeout for Lombard. That's 1 down to the 4th, and that'll bring on Dave Cash, who grounded out to Mike Schmidt his first time up. Cash came into the game hitting .333. Dave has the all-time Major League record for most at-bats in a season, set while he was a Phil, 699. A check swing foul into the Phillies dugout and out. Dave also set the Expos club record for most at-bats in a season last year when he came to the plate 650 times. 1 strike to count to Cash. Pitch to him. High for a ball. It's 1-1. The pitchers are up at Cincinnati. San Francisco is going to pitch Vida Blue against Cincinnati's Bill Bonham. Pitch to Cash. Low for a ball. 2-1 the count to Dave Cash. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a ground ball hit down the line and down into the left field corner. Cash rounding first on his way to second. Luzinski chases it down. Cash rounds second, but he'll hold there with a stand-up double. So Dave Cash, who is known for hitting the ball the opposite way to right field, pulled one down the left field line and all the way to the corner for 2 bases.
Cash likes the inside out that pitch. That was a fastball that Lombard got up a little bit, and it started to run in on him, but was out over the plate where Dave likes it. And like Harry said, he'll hit that ball to right field a lot of times, even though the pitch is in, but he kind of threw that shoulder out and really ripped that ball to left and pulled it good down the line.
So Cash has the first hit off Lombard, a double. Lonnie had retired the first 10 men in order. Here's Andre Dawson. He grounded out his first time up. Pitch to him. Grounded sharply foul down the 3rd base side. 1 strike to count to Andre Dawson. National League Rookie of the Year last year. Edging the New York Mets, Steve Henderson. Lombard stretches. 1 strike pitch. In the dirt for a ball. It's 1-1. Pitchers are up at Atlanta for San Diego, Gaylord Perry. And for the Atlanta Braves, it'll be Jamie Easterly. 1-1 pitch to Dawson. Strike called on the inside corner. A ball and 2 strikes to Andre Dawson, who didn't like the call. In that game at Atlanta, San Diego's Gaylord Perry undoubtedly will move into the number 3 spot on the all-time strikeout list. He currently is tied for third with Expos Jim Bunning. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with a breaking ball. 4 Ks for Lombard. That's 2 down to the 4th, and that'll bring up Gary Carter, the catcher, who struck out his first time up. The only 2 ahead of Bunning and Gaylord Perry at this stage on the all-time Major League list. Walter Big Train Johnson and Bob Gibson. 2 outs. Dave Cash at second base. Here's the pitch to Carter. Inside for a ball. 1-0 to Gary Carter, who set an Expos record for most home runs in a season last year when he slugged 31. Ted Sizemore sneaking in behind Dave Cash. No throw, and Lombard steps off the rubber. He is ready. Here's the stretch. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a pop foul out of play. It's a ball and a strike to Gary Carter. The Expos feel like they're an improved ball club. Their starting pitching has been strengthened with the addition of Ross Grimsley and Rudy May. A couple of left-handers from the American League. Their big question mark still remains the bullpen. Carter tires of waiting, calls time. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Gary Carter. Here's a stretch by Lombard. 1-1 pitch. Swing. He tried to check his swing. Did he check? Yes, he did. Carter checked his swing. Eric Gregg appealing to first base umpire Bill Williams for help, and Williams said no swing. It's 2 balls and a strike.
Well, it's a good thing he didn't make contact with that, or he might have hit it out for a check swing.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a foul straight back. It's 2-2 to Gary Carter. 2 outs. Dave Cash at second base. He doubled for the only hit off Lombard. We're in the 4th inning of a 0-0 game. Friday night at St. Louis, the Phillies will pitch Steve Carlton, and Mark Littell is going to be a surprise starter for the St. Louis Cardinals. Bullpen pitcher that Bernard Rapp is going to give a start. Here's the pitch. Line drive. Foul ball. Well hit down the left field side, but foul. And it stays 2-2 to Gary Carter. Lombard in his 1978 debut. Bonnie, of course, started last year on the disabled list. Did not get his first start until May 28th. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a foul back. Got him out in front of a changeup, but Carter got enough bat on the ball to just foul it straight back. Stays 2-2.
This guy is really a dead pull hitter, and the Phillies play him that way. Gary Maddox way over in the alley in left center, and Carter has a tremendous gap on the right center part of the outfield.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and another foul ball over the screen as Carter fights off the good pitches by Lombard. Stays 2-2 to it.
A good young hitter, this guy, too, and he's getting better and better. And you make mistakes on him, he'll hit the ball out of the park. I only had 29 or 30 home runs last year, and he's got a lot of talent.
Here's Lombard's stretch. The 2-2 pitch again. Just missed outside. A full count to Gary Carter. Cash at second base, 2 out. Lombard stretches. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a long drive to deep left field. If it's fair, it's well out of here. It's a fair ball home run, Gary Carter. Carter hits his second home run of the year. Dave Cash scores in front of him, and the Expos lead it 2-0. So Gary Carter, who set an all-time Expos home run record with 31, shattering the mark previously held by Rusty Staub last year, as his second home run of the year. The Expos are on the board 2-0. Here's Tony Perez, who grounded out his first time up. Pitch to Tony is low for a ball. 1-0 the count to Perez. Lomborg's pitch to Tony, big swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. Well, Perez did it again last year. 91 runs batted in. 11 straight years he's knocked in 90 or more. 1-1 pitch. Inside for a ball. It's 2-1. He really couldn't like his chances too much at midseason. He did not have a whole bunch in the first half, but came on strong. Ground ball to shortstop. Boa has it. His throw. Perez is out and the Expos are down, but they're on the board with 2 runs on 2 hits. Big blow, a homer by Gary Carter. There were no errors and none left. And at the end of 3 1/2, it's Montreal 2, Phillies nothing, and now it's time for a tasty break.
That tasty cake is just not enough to bring our fans the very best tasting cake money can buy. We want to bring you more. That's why Tasty Cake is especially proud once again to bring you radio broadcasts of the 1977 National League Eastern Division champion winners, the Philadelphia Phillies. Tasty Cake and the Phillies. All the good things wrapped up in one.
Tasty Cake is a world of fun. It's all the good things wrapped up in one.
There's a demanding cat around. He's at your Lincoln Mercury dealers, and he wants these dealers to sell every Mercury in stock. Every one. That means you have a great chance to get into any one of his fine cars right now. From the full-size Mercury Marquis right through his Cougars, Zephyrs, Monarchs, and Bobcats. They're all up for grabs right now. See your Lincoln Mercury dealer quick, because that cat means business. At the sign of the cat.
You know, with the purchase of selected General Electric major appliances, General Electric is giving away a U.S. savings bond.
Bonds away!
That's from now until May 31st.
You know, gentlemen prefer bonds.
You can get a great General Electric major appliance and use the savings bond to help finance a trip.
Bon voyage.
Or use the bond to buy something great.
Like chocolate-covered bonbons?
So see your GE dealer today.
Bonsai!
Jenkintown Electric Discount Appliances, 220 York Road in Jenkintown. Larry Boa will lead off for the Phillies here in the 4th. Phil's down 2-0. Boa grounded into a double play his first time up. Boa will be followed by Mike Schmidt, then Greg Luzinski. Phillies have 1 hit off Steve Rogers so far, a single by Jim Lomborg. Here's Rogers' pitch to Boa, swing and a bouncing foul off the plate. 1 strike to him. Let's pause for station identification on the Phil's Baseball Network.
At 8:28, this is KYW Philadelphia. AccuWeather says clear and mild tonight, the low 50. Tomorrow, sunny, windy, and mild with a chance of a brief shower. Right now, 64 degrees and clear on Independence Mall.
Next pitch to Boa is a little bit outside for a ball. The count is 1-1. Pitchers are up at Kansas City. For Baltimore, Mike Flanagan, and for Kansas City, Dennis Leonard. At Texas, Mark the Bird Fidrich against John Matlack. Pitches outside for a ball. 2-1 the count to Larry Boa. And at St. Louis, the Pirates go with John Candelaria, and the St. Louis Cardinals with Bob Porsche. Two and 1 to Boa as Rogers winds the 2-1 pitch. High ball 3. It's 3-1. Rogers walked the leadoff man, Bake McBride. Now Gary Carter goes out to talk to Rogers. 3 balls and a strike to Larry Boa. Larry will watch this one carefully. Well, we'll be on the Phil's radio and television networks the entire weekend series in St. Louis. Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and Sunday afternoon. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Wide ball 4. He walked him. Second walk given up by Rogers. So Boa is a base runner with nobody out. It'll bring up Mike Schmidt. Schmidt grounded out his first time up. Expos lead 2-0. We're in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Warren Warren Cromartie, who came in to pinch hit for the injured Ellis Valentine, who's playing left field for Montreal, and Del Unser has moved from left to right. Here's the pitch to Schmidt, and it's high, a fastball, ball one. Cromartie is relatively close to the line and left, although Montreal seems to bunch their outfielders. They give you the line. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Over for a strike called. It's 1-1.
Cincinnati Reds are a firm believer in that type of defense, too. They believe that, they're not going to pull down the line that much. Nobody really pulls that much, but a lot of balls are hit in the alley for extra bases, so they'll do that. They'll bunch you.
They take the alley hit away from you, and they'll give you the 2 bases down the line. Which isn't a bad philosophy. Throw to first base, and Boa gets back. One and one the count to Mike Schmidt. Here's Rogers' stretch. 1-1 pitch to Schmidt. Little tap foul down the third base side. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Mike Schmidt. The Expos got their 2 on a 2-run home run by Gary Carter. Boa takes his lead off first base. 1-2 to Mike Schmidt. There's Rogers' stretch. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a bouncing foul down the third base side to Bill DeMars. And it stays 1-2 to Schmidt. Well, those amazing Milwaukee Brewers won again today, beat the Yankees 5-3. Moose Haas struck out 14 Yankees in that win. Rich Gossage took the loss, and the Goose is 0-2 for New York so far this season. Throw to first base, close play. Boa gets back. Rogers has a good move. Ball and 2 strikes to Schmidt. Another quick throw, and Boa has to dive back in safely. Steve Rogers back on the rubber. Boa, good size lead. Here's the stretch. And the pitch to Schmidt. Swing and a high fly ball to left, but it's going to stay in the park. Warren Cromartie at the warning track makes the catch. Boa tags and holds on at first base. Schmidt just missed that ball. Fly ball to deep left, but caught by Cromartie at the warning track. 1 down. That'll bring up Greg Luzinski, who grounded out third first his first time up. Time is called as Larry Boa is trotting to the dugout. Oh, I think what he's getting is his batting helmet, which is now a league regulation that while a base runner, you must wear your batting helmet. Yep, that's what he's doing. That's a new rule this year that all base runners must wear batting helmets, and that was put in for the base runner's protection.
Get used to going down there and tossing that helmet away and putting that soft cap on. You've done it for 7 years in your whole career. Take a little adjusting to have to go, keep your batting helmet on now. But like Harry said, it's for the best.
Greg Luzinski with 1 out, Boa at first base. There's the stretch by Rogers. Good size lead by Boa. The pitch to the ball, foul back to the screen. Boa is getting a bigger lead this year than he ever has in his career. Getting the front foot out on the AstroTurf off the cutout of the first base dirt area. He didn't take leads like that before. Here's a stretch by Rogers. Pitch to the bull. Check swing foul off the plate and down the first base side. And Rogers has the jump on Luzinski, 0-2. Expos lead 2-0. Bottom half of the 4th inning.
He could probably steal more bases if he wanted to. Larry likes to think of himself as a percentage base stealer, and he just doesn't run for the heck of it. When he runs, it's for a meaning, and it's in a situation where it'll help the ball club. And he doesn't run too much when Schmidt and Luzinski are batting.
Here's the 2-strike pitch to the bull. Ground ball hit sharply foul down the third base side and right to Mary Sue Stiles, the ball girl down the left field line. Stays 0-2 to Luzinski. Members of the media last night were treated to Greg Luzinski's famous kielbasa sandwiches in the press room.
Still taste that today.
They're very good.
They are good. They are good. Good heartburn, too.
Here's a stretch by Rogers. Throw to first base. Boa back on a fairly close play.
You're right about his lead, Harry, because you never see pitchers moving over there to get Larry Boa that much, and it's a good sign to see him get off that far.
0-2 the count to Luzinski. Rogers stretches. Another throw to first base, and Boa gets back. Again, a pretty close play. So Rogers is trying to keep him close. 1 out. Larry Boa, the base runner at first. He walked. Here's the 2-strike pitch, and it's low for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. At Houston, Don Sutton is going for the Los Angeles Dodgers and Joe Niekro for the Houston Astros. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a ground ball tapped foul down the third base line. Fielded by Bruce Fremming, the third base umpire. He juggles the ball, and the fans give him a few boos. Bruce is a good umpire. Dave Winfield has hit a home run for the San Francisco Giants in the second inning with 1 man on. Giants tying Cincinnati in that game 2-2. There's a stretch by Rogers and the pitch on the way. Check swing a little bit high with a breaking ball, and Rogers thought it was there. He's upset at plate umpire Eric Gregg.
Well, Carter pulled that ball back pretty well. That pitch was outside, it looked, and Carter is known as one of the bigger belly achers in the league. The players and umpires will tell you that he really does a lot of talking behind home plate, and a catcher like him will not get those pitches from an umpire for the most part.
Rogers stretches. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Gregg swings and a ground ball, base hit left field. Ball will stop at second base. The Phillies have 2 men on base and 1 out. Luzinski singles in the hole to left. That'll bring on Rich Hebner, who grounded out his first time up. Direction on that home run at Cincinnati, it was not Dave Winfield, it was Fred Whitfield. Terry Whitfield. Finally got it right. Terry Whitfield in the second with 1 on. Tying their game with Cincinnati. Here's Rich Hebner, 2 men on base and 1 out. Stretch by Rogers. And the pitch to Hebner on the inside corner for a strike called. 1 strike to Rich Hebner. Larry Boa at second base. Greg Luzinski first base. 1 out, bottom of the 4th. Expos leading 2-0. Here's the pitch to Hebner. Almost hit him. A fastball inside for a ball, and it's 1-1. Ball on the strike to Rich Hebner. Steve Rogers at the belt. 1-1 pitch to Hebner. Swing and a drive into left center field. It's going to drop for a base hit. Boa rounding third. He scores. The Expos lead is cut in half. It's now a 2-1 ball game as Hebner knocks in his 3rd run of the year. Greg Luzinski stopping at second base on the base hit. So the Bulls at second, Hebner at first with 1 down. It brings on Gary Maddox. Maddox fouled out to Ellis Valentine down in the right field corner his first time up on a fine play by Valentine. Expos leading 2-1, bottom of the 4th. Rogers pitched to Maddox, swing and a pop foul out of play. We have a report on Ellis Valentine. He has a mild sprain of the right knee. He was examined by Phillies team physician physician, Dr. Philip Marone, and should not be out for too long a period of time. Mild sprain of the right knee for Ellis Valentine, who had to leave the ball game. Here's the one-strike pitch. In the dirt, a good block by Carter for a ball. It's 1-1. Steve Rogers working here in the fourth. He walked Poe, and then singles by Greg Luzinski and Richie Hebner have plated a run. Luzinski at second, Hebner at first. The 1-1 pitch to Maddox. Swing and a tap down the third base side foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Gary Maddox. Steve Carter goes out to talk to, Gary Carter rather, goes out to talk to Steve Rogers. Ball and 2 strikes to count to Gary Maddox.
Richie Hebner keeps hitting the ball for the Phillies. He came north in real good shape and says he feels good, and he's normally a hot hitter early in the spring, and he's been a good RBI man just with the Phillies need batting out of that number 5 spot behind Luzinski.
He's at first, Luzinski at second, 1 out. A ball and 2 strikes to Gary Maddox. Rogers at the belt, and the pitch to Maddox. Broken bat pop-up right to Dave Cash, who squeezes it. The infield fly rule was in effect. Maddox is out as he got jammed on a good fastball by Rogers. 2 down. That'll bring up Bob Boone. Boone grounded out his first time up. Two down. Luzinski at second. Hebner at first. Rogers, a 17-game winner last year for the Expos. Stretches, and the pitch to Boone is low for a ball. Rogers has been the bellwether of the Expos staff the last 3 seasons. Had the opening day nod for Montreal the last 3 years. There's the 1-0 pitch to Boone. Swing and a line drive to left. Well hit, but right at Warren Cromartie, who squeezes it. And that'll be it for the Phils in the fourth. Phils get 1 back. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. And at the end of 4, it's Montreal 2 and the Phils 1. 2 years ago, Plymouth introduced the most successful car in its history, Polaris. Today, we've got it in 3 styles that all give you your money's worth. The Slant 6 Coupe that gets better mileage than any 6-cylinder automatic built in America. The sedan that's roomiest in its class. And the wagon that's become the #1 selling wagon in America over the past 2 years. Coupe, sedan, or wagon, Polaris gives you your money's worth. See it today at your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
I'd like to get to know ya, have a chance to show ya, round for just a while. Take you to the places, meet some brand new faces, share a Coke and make you smile. I couldn't help but notice, in my heart I noticed, could be something good. Can't we talk it over, lunch and Coca-Cola? I really kinda think we should. Go walking, talking, dance through the night. The taste of Coke helps make it right. Coke has life, and when you see it down, it's really nice to get to know ya. Oh, the Coca-Cola, life is looking good. Coca-Cola, Coke has life, and when you see it down, it's really nice to get to know ya. Oh, the Coca-Cola, life.
Larry Parrish, the third baseman, leading off for Montreal here in the 5th. The Expos leading by a score of 2-1. Parrish struck out his first time up. The Expos have but 2 hits off Lombard, but 1 a double by Dave Cash, and a 2-run homer by Gary Carter. The pitch to Parrish is low for a ball. 1-0 the count to Larry Parrish. Here's Lombard's 1-0 pitch. Tried to check his swing. The pitch was over anyhow, and the count is 1-1 to Parrish. Parrish will be followed by Del Unser. Here's the 1-1 pitch to him. Breaking ball that just missed. 2 balls and a strike. Lomborg has struck out 4. He has not walked a batter. Here's the 2-1 to Parrish. Swing and a pop foul behind the Phillies dugout. It's 2-2. Game at Atlanta has been postponed because of rain. San Diego at Atlanta rained out. Lomborg winds the 2-2 pitch. Swinging another foul ball behind the Phillies dugout. And it remains 2 balls and 2 strikes to Larry Parrish. Parrish, 24 years old. The Expo fans really got down on this fellow last year, but Expos brass still feels that Parrish can become a very fine Major League third baseman. Pitch to him, long drive, deep left field, fair or foul, a foul ball. Long enough to be out of here, but foul by about 10 feet. Remains 2-2 to Larry Parrish.
Well, we mentioned earlier that the Phillies throw him a lot of breaking balls and off-speed pitches, and that was one of them. And what you try to do to Larry Parrish is keep the ball on the outside part of the plate, and Lonnie got that one up and in, and he kind of bails a little bit, and that's right where he wants the ball, and that would have been a mistake.
The 2-2 pitch to Parrish. Swing, line drive, left center field. That's in the gap and going all the way back to the fence. Parrish on his way to second base. Goes in standing with a double. So Parrish picks up the Expos' 3rd hit off Lomborg. A line double to left center. That'll bring up Del Unser, who grounded out to Rich Hebner his first time up. Lomborg has given up 3 hits, all of them for extra bases. Doubles by Cash and now Parrish, and the homer by Gary Carter.
Well, Unser is a good, disciplined team baseball player, as the Phillies fans remember. And he'll try to hit the ball the right side now and get the runner over to third base and get him in position to score. And he's good at that kind of stuff.
Here's the pitch to Unser, and it's high for a ball, a fastball. 1-0 to count to Del Unser. Unser has done a good job for Dick Williams in the early going. He's had 5 hits in his last 8 at-bats. Expos lead 2-1. We're playing in the 5th. Here's the pitch to Unser, and it's outside for a ball. It's 2-0. Two 2-0 the count to Del Unser. Larry Parrish at second base and nobody out. Lomborg's 2-0 pitch over for a strike called on the outside corner. It's 2-1. Warren Brewster starting to throw in the Phillies bullpen. Lomborg's 2-1 pitch. Drag bunt down the first base side. Richie Hebner makes the unassisted putout. But as Chris mentioned, Unser gets the job done. He moves Parrish to third base, where with 1 out, a fly ball would score him.
Well, he's just a good player of that sort of stuff. Lomborg was pitching him away and making it difficult for him to pull that ball to the right side, so he decided he was going to bunt, and he's a good bunter, and he dragged that just a little bit harder. He almost had himself a base hit.
Parrish at third base, 1 down. Here's Chris Spire, who tapped out in front of the plate his first time up. They're going to give Unser a sacrifice on it. Phillies infield pulls in with a runner at third base and 1 out. Lomborg's pitch to Spire. Swing and a long drive to deep left field. Uzinski going away back, and this ball's out of here, a home run. Just clearing the left field fence, and the Expos now lead it 4-1. The first homer of the year for Chris Spire. Well, Montreal on top 4-1 on a pair of 2-run homers. Gary Carter and now Chris Spire. With 1 out, it brings up pitcher Steve Rogers, who grounded out his first time up. Here's the pitch to Rogers. Tapped down the first base side, just foul. 1 strike to Steve Rogers. The Expos have had 4 hits and have made them count for 4 runs. Pitch to Rogers, grounded to third baseman Mike Schmidt. His throw. Rogers is out easily for out number 2. That'll bring up Warren Cromartie. Cromartie came into the game when Ellis Valentine had to leave with a sprained right knee, and Crow has struck out in his only at bat. Left-hand hitter, the Phillies play him around to the opposite field. Cromartie gets a lot of his hits to left field, and the Phillies play him that way. Cromartie, another young outfielder for the Expos, 24 years old. He hit .282 last year, and the pitch to him is high for a ball. Lomborg's 1-0 pitch. In the dirt for a ball, it's 2-0.
This Montreal team is giving a little indication of what they're going to be like. They have power. They're a good offensive team. Where they'll hurt is if you can get into their bullpen, and with a guy like Rogers, he'll usually give you a good effort.
The 2-0 pitch is tapped foul at the plate. It's 2-1 to Warren Cromartie. Lomborg started out in spectacular fashion tonight. He retired the first 10 men in order prior to giving up a double to Dave Cash. But he's given up the long ball twice and trails 4-1. Pitch to Cromartie. He checks and it's low. It's 3-1. 3 balls and a strike to Warren Cromartie. Here's the 3-1 pitch to him. Ground ball, second base. Gloved by Ted Sizemore. He throws. Cromartie is out. For the Expos in the 5th, 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and none left. And after 4.5, Montreal leads the Phils 4-1. Time was, station wagons only came in one size, big. And if you wanted good mileage, you were out of luck. Well, R8 gives you your money's worth of room and mileage of 25 on the highway, 18 in the city. That's an EPA estimate for a wagon with 225, 1-barrel engine, and manual transmission. Your mileage may differ. And also has the high resale value you're looking for. No wonder Volari's been the #1 selling wagon in America over the past 2 years. It gives you your money's worth when you buy and when you sell. See it today at your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
At Warren's 16 card and gift shops, men get special help while selecting gifts for birthdays, anniversaries, holidays. Polite and friendly salespeople guide you, and you'll have each gift wrapped free at Warren's, where shopping is a pleasure. Warren's card and gift shops have wonderful gifts to give or to keep for yourself. Glass and brass, copper and pewter, Hummels and Hallmark, candles and lamps, leather goods, all wrapped free at the wonderful world of Warren. Visit our Warren's card and gift shop in the Colonial Park Shopping Center, Harrisburg.
Ted Sizemore leads off for the Phillies, bottom of the 5th. He struck out his first time up. Size will be followed by Tim McCarver, who has moved into the on-deck circle to pinch hit for pitcher Jim Lomborg. Phillies got their run in the 4th when Boa walked, Luzinski singled, and Richie Hebner got an RBI hit to left center field. Rogers winds. The pitch to Sizemore is inside for a ball, 1-0. 1-0 pitch to Sizemore is low, ball 2, 2-0. Boston beat Cleveland this afternoon 6-3 behind Mike Torres, Jim Rice, and Fred Lynn home runs for the Red Sox. Chicago beat Toronto 5-4. Steve Stone won it. Here's the pitch to Size, over for a strike called. It's 2-1. White Sox had a lot of home runs, 2 by George Orta, 1 by Wayne Nordhagen, and 1 by Ralph Garr. The 2-1 pitch. Sizemore bunts it down the third base side, and the Expos wisely let it roll foul. 2-2 to Ted Sizemore, leading off the Phillies' 5th. Expos leading by a score of 4-1. Milwaukee defeated New York 5-3. Moose Haas struck out 14 in that game. He won it. Rich Gossage, the loser, and Larry Heisel, another home run. Heisel's third of the year. Off and rolling for the Milwaukee Brewers. 2-2 to Ted Sizemore. Rogers winds the 2-2 pitch. Low for a ball, a full count. Rogers has walked a pair, and one of them cost him when he led off the fourth by walking Larry Boa, who scored the Phillies run. 3-2 pitch. Low, and he walks Ted Sizemore. Third walk given up by Rogers. That'll bring up Tim McCarver to pinch hit for Jim Lombard. McCarver has been at bat officially once this year without a hit.
What Steve Rogers just did is what just drives managers and teammates crazy. Expos come in and get him a couple more runs, a nice 4-1 lead. He's throwing the ball very well and really in command of the game, and doesn't he come right out and walk the first batter. And against a team like the Phillies, you just don't want to do that sort of stuff.
Tim McCarver batting for Jim Lombard. Solani leaves after pitching 5 innings, charged with 4 runs on 4 hits. Sizemore first base and nobody out. Stretched by Rogers. And the pitch to McCarver is a fastball outside for a ball. 1-0 to McCarver. Rogers stretches. And the pitch to McCarver is a little bit high. Ball 2. It's 2-0. Then McCarver looks down at Bill DeMars to see if he can swing at this next pitch or if he should take it. Tim had a fine year for the Phils last year. He hit .320 while catching Steve Carlton, pinch hitting, and he's did a great job. Here's the pitch to him, and it's low and outside, ball 3.
One of the things he did last year, I think he walked 13 times as a pinch hitter, and one of the reasons why Timmy is so good at pinch hitting is he's a patient hitter. A lot of guys are just not suited to pinch hit because they come up there and they just want to start hacking right away, and Timmy is just a good disciplined hitter, and comes up there and he sees Rogers struggling a little bit, and he takes some pitches, and boom, he's got him in the hole 3-0 right now.
Timmy did walk 13 times as a pinch hitter last year, and he's ahead of Rogers, 3 balls and no strikes. Time is called as the Expos pitching coach, Jim Brewer, comes out to talk to Rogers. Rogers has a 4-1 lead, and as Chris mentioned, with a 4-1 lead, you don't want to be putting runners on base. He has walked Sizemore. He's behind McCarver 3-0, and the pitch to Tim is over for a strike called. McCarver had started down to first base, but Eric Craig calls him back. Van Bonson, right-hander, is up in the Expos bullpen. Three balls and a strike to Tim McCarver, who will look this one over carefully. Sizemore at first base and nobody out. Here's a stretch by Rogers. 3-1 pitch. Fastball laced into right field for a base hit. Sizemore will stop at second base, and the Phillies have their first 2 men on base here in the 5th. Tim McCarver gets the Phillies' first pinch hit of the year. Solid single to right. 2 men on base and nobody out. It'll bring up Bake McBride, who has walked and grounded into a fielder's choice. Al Oliver has just hit a home run at Texas off Bird Fidrich to the Detroit Tigers with a made out, and Texas leads Detroit after 1-2-0. Boy, it is nice to see Al Oliver hitting in the other league.
Amen.
Sizemore at second, McCarver at first. Nobody out. Rogers stretches. And the pitch to McBride. Swing and a pop foul out of play. 1 strike to count to Bake. Steve Rogers working, bottom half of the 5th inning. Montreal leading 4-1. There's his stretch. One strike pitch to Bake. Bounce foul behind the plate. We'll pause for station identification on the Phil's Baseball Network.
At 9 o'clock, this is KYW Philadelphia. AccuWeather says clear and mild tonight, low 50. Tomorrow, sunny, windy, and mild with a chance of a brief shower. Right now, 62 degrees and clear on Independence Mall.
0-2 to Bake McBride. Ted Sizemore at second. He walked. Tim McCarver at first. He got a pinch single. Rogers at the belt. The 2-strike pitch to Bake, low and away for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ball and 2 strikes to Bake McBride. Steve Rogers has the sign from Carter, the stretch. And the 1-2 pitch to Bake. Swing and a bouncing ball back to Rogers. He throws the Spire one. No chance for a relay. A great takeout slide by Tim McCarver. That's what Tim McCarver does for you. He is one of the truly fine base runners in the game. Not blessed with super speed, but he knows how to run the bases. And he took Spire out of any chance of doubling up Bake McBride.
And the fans here are very knowledgeable fans, and they noticed that right away. Timmy slid very, very hard into the base, and Spire was thinking about going to get McBride, even though it really wasn't a double play ball. But like Harry said, he had no chance once he saw McCarver coming.
Runners at the corner. Sizemore at third. Bake McBride at first. 1 down. Here's Larry Boa. Boa has grounded into a double play. Walked and scored a run. Of course, you don't double up Bake McBride very often, but Spire does have a strong arm at shortstop. Phillies trail 4-1. There goes Bake, swing and a line drive, hit left center field. Sizemore scores, McBride to third base, and it's now a 4-2 ball game. Bake McBride breaking on the pitch, and shortstop Chris Spire was covering, and Boa punched a line drive right to the spot that was vacated by Spire.
Well, that's what speed in the lineup will do for you, and Bake McBride really gets the Phillies going. That ball would have been a line drive right to shortstop if he hadn't been moving on the play, and Spire was going over to cover second, and the ball went right where he was standing, and speed in the top of your lineup is just so important.
McBride at third base, Boa at first base. 1 out, it's now a 4-2 ball game. The Expos lead, and here's Mike Schmidt. Schmidt is grounded out and flied out to deep left field. Larry Boa knocks in his first run of the year. He's at first, McBride at third. The stretch by Rogers. Pitch to Schmidt. Swing and a fly ball into left center field. Over to make the grab is Dawson, but this will score McBride easily as he waltzes home, and it's a 4-3 ball game. They'll give Mike Schmidt a sacrifice fly and a run batted in as he knocks in his 5th run of the year. Ball holding out at first base. Well, the Phillies are back to within 1. A 4-3 ball game. The Expos lead, and that'll bring up Greg Luzinski. Ball is grounded out and single. Larry Boa, first base, 2 outs. 2 runs are in the 5th. Rogers, quick throw to first base, a good move, and Boa's back. Here's a stretch, another quick throw, and Boa has to dive back in safely on a close play. Boa calls time to dust himself off. Here's a stretch by Rogers. Quick throw, and Boa's safe on another close play. So Rogers goes over there frequently with Boa on base. Stretch by Rogers. The pitch to Luzinski is low and outside for a ball. 1-0 to Greg Luzinski. 2 runs are in. Expos lead 4-3. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Boa, good-sized lead at first base. Another throw to first base. This is a token toss, and Boa back in ample time. 1-0 to Luzinski. Stretch by Rogers. Pitch to the bull is a strike call. The ball and the strike. Larry Boa moves off first base. Rogers at the belt. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a foul ball. Greg chased the low pitch and fouled it into the Expos dugout. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ball and 2 strike count to Luzinski. Is Boa running, Chris? He has a big lead.
I don't think he's going to run, Harry. It just doesn't seem like he wants to run with Luzinski swinging right now.
Here's a stretch by Rogers. There goes Boa, swing and a bouncing foul down the third base side.
I'll tell you, I'm glad I'm wrong. I'll be honest, I'm glad I'm wrong because it seemed like he would never do that last year. And, you know, he's going to make more things happen by him running a little more with Schmidt and Luzinski at the plate. And they talked about maybe doing it more this year, so was wrong, and I'm glad.
No ball was going on that pitch, fouled off by Luzinski. A ball and 2 strikes to Greg. Larry again, a good-sized lead. Stretch by Rogers. Throw to first base, and Boa gets back.
He is definitely under Steve Rogers' skin. There's no doubt about it. It's the first time that he's gone, but he's probably moved over there 10 times in the 2 times he's been on.
Rogers stretches. Boa holding this time, and it's fouled straight back. It stays 1-2 to Luzinski. Ball and 2 strikes to the Bull. 4-3, the Expos lead. Bottom half of the 5th inning. Here's a stretch by Rogers. Pitch to Luzinski, swing and a bad handle pop foul. Perez can't catch up to it. It lands in front of the Phillies dugout, and Bull still has life. Not hit high enough for Tony Perez to get there in time. And Luzinski stays alive at 1 ball and 2 strikes, and again Boa was holding at first base.
Rogers has that good fastball that he runs in on the right-handed hitters, and he's throwing Bull a lot of fastballs in and some sliders away, and he's a tough pitcher. He's a real competitor out there, and he's pitching Luzinski very tough.
1-2 to Luzinski. Stretch by Rogers. Boa's going. The pitch to the Bull is low. No throw. Stolen base, Larry Boa. So Boa gets his second steal of the year. He has not been caught. Got a tremendous jump. The pitch was an off-speed pitch, and Carter had no chance. 2-2 the count to Luzinski. Boa now in scoring position. He represents the tying run. Rogers 2-2 pitch. Low ball 3, a full count. Richie Hebner waits on deck. Rogers has thrown a lot of pitches in the last couple of innings after breezing through the first 3.
Well, for some reason, he came out here and started nibbling. He does nibble sometimes, but there's really no need to come out and start nibbling with a 4-1 lead, and that's what he's doing, and it really hurt him this inning.
Here's a stretch by Rogers. 3-2 pitch to the Bull. Swing. He had a cut of the fastball, and he fouled it back to the screen. Stays 3-2. Bull at second base. 2 runs are in. 3-2 count to Luzinski. Rogers has his sign from Carter. Here's his stretch. And now he steps off and looks Boa back to second base.
Rogers has that move where he'll pivot to his right, which is an unnatural move, and Mike Marshall used to do that a lot when he was with Montreal, and that's probably where he got it.
3-2 pitch. Greg swings and skies one, popped up in the infield. Who wants it? Chris Spire will take charge, puts it away. Spire made the catch standing right next to Larry Parrish. Spire took charge of the sky-high pop in the infield. Phillies got 2 runs in the inning on 2 hits along with a walk, no errors, and 1 left. And at the end of 5, the score is Montreal 4 and the Phils 3, and now it's time for a tasty break.
Tasty cake is a day in spring, a brand new love or a golden ring. Tasty cake is the morning sun, it's all the good things wrapped up in one. Tasty cake is a deep blue sea, a song they're singing for you and me. Tasty cake is a world of fun, it's all the good things wrapped up in one.
At Tasty Cake, it's just not enough to bring our fans the very best tasting cake money can buy. We want to bring you more. That's why this year, Tasty Cake is especially proud once again to be a part of Phillies radio broadcast. A hearty congratulations for the Phils' 2nd consecutive Eastern Division championship in 1977. Let's hope 1978 brings even bigger and better things. For the Phillies and for all their fans, you're all the good things wrapped up in one.
Tasty cake is a world of fun, it's all the good things wrapped up in one.
And now from KYW Newsroom, the Pennsylvania House of Representatives has approved $293 million for state-related colleges and universities for the 78-79 budget year. That's a 5% increase over last year. And the House also voted unanimously to withhold pensions from state officials or employees who commit a crime in connection with their official duties. The bill made retroactive to December of 72. Clear skies and 62 degrees on Independence Mall. Now let's get back to the vet.
Fans of the Phils have a great new giveaway item for everyone 19 years of age or younger when they play the New York Mets on Sunday, May 7th here at the Vet. Red and white gym shorts with Phillies on the front are a great-looking item that every young Phillies fan will want to own. Free Phillies gym shorts for everyone 19 or under on Sunday, May 7th, when the Phils take on the New York Mets right here at the Vet. Game time will be 1:35. New pitcher for the Phils coming in is Warren Brewster. Brewster appearing in his 2nd game. He pitched 1 perfect inning in his first outing of the 1978 season. Giving up no runs, no hits. He struck out none and walked none. He was aided on a brilliant double play in that outing by Larry Bowen. Dave Cash will be the first one to face him. Cash has grounded out, doubled, and scored a run, and Brewster's pitch to him is tapped foul off to the left of the plate. 1 strike to Cash. 4-3, Expos lead. Montreal hitting a pair of 2-run homers by Gary Carter and by Chris Spire. One strike to Cash. Here's Brewster's pitch. Fastball high and inside to him. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Brewster on for Jim Lomborg, who went 5, charged with 4 runs on 4 hits. Pitch to Cash, high again, ball 2. Lonnie struck out 3, and he walked none. Pitch to Dave Cash, roped down the left field line and going all the way to the corner. Cash on his way to second base. He'll go in standing with a double, his 2nd successive double. So Dave Cash, we always seem to see hitting the ball the opposite way to right field, is lined 2 of them down the left field line and into the corner for a pair of doubles.
First year that Dave Cash was with the Phillies, he used to do that a lot, and then he seemed to get out of it after that. His last year with Philadelphia and last year with Montreal, we saw him hit a lot of balls that were in on him to right field, but he seems like he's back to pulling that pitch to left field.
Here's Andre Dawson. He is grounded out and struck out. Cash at second base and nobody out. Pitch to Dawson is high for a ball. Well, teams used to pitch Cash away and play him away, and he kept stroking the ball to right field, and I think a lot of teams changed their philosophy and started coming in on him last year. Pitch to Dawson is high for a ball, 2-0. What great hitter that he is. Dave can adjust to that, too, as he obviously has as we see him this season, hitting the ball to left and down the line. 2-0 the count to Dawson. 2-0 pitch. Dawson is hit by the pitch ball. It hit his hand. Hit his right hand. Harry Craig, the plate umpire, looked at Dawson's hand to make sure it was nicked, and it was nicked by the pitch ball. So the Expos have their first 2 men on base in the 6th. Dawson goes back to the Expos dugout to get the ethyl chloride on his hand after being hit by the pitch ball.
Well, Brewster hasn't had much work. He only pitched 1 inning since the Phillies left spring training, and Warren is a sinker ball pitcher, and you'll usually find that a pitcher like him will pitch better when he's had a lot of work because it'll make his ball sink naturally, and the pitches he's thrown so far this inning, every one has been up in the strike zone, and that's not where he has to pitch.
Cash at second base, Dawson at first base, nobody out. Here's Gary Carter, who has struck out and hit a 2-run home run. Montreal leading 4-3. We're in the 6th inning. The stretch by Brewster and the pitch. Sinker ball is low for a ball. 1-0 to Gary Carter. Brewster stretches, 1-0 pitch. Low again, ball 2. It's 2-0. Ron Reed is starting to throw in the Phillies bullpen. 2 balls and no strikes to Gary Carter. Stretch by Brewster, 2-0 pitch, swing and a foul out of play. It's 2-1 to Carter. Eddie Murray has hit a home run for the Baltimore Orioles, his 2nd of the year, and the Birds now lead Kansas City 1-0 in the 2nd. Here's Brewster's 2-1 to Carter. Ground ball, foul down the third base side. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Gary Carter. Brewster will try to throw a ground ball here with Cash at second base, Dawson at first base, and nobody out. Two and 2 to Expos catcher Gary Carter. Stretch by Brewster. 2-2 pitch, swing and a broken bat, bounding ball to short. Boa has but 1 play to first base. Carter is out. And on the play, Cash moves to third. Dawson to second. The barrel end of that bat splintered in half. One part of it going to Mike Schmidt at third, the other towards short where Larry Boa fielded the ball. So the Expos have runners at second and third, 1 down as Carter is erased. And that'll bring up Tony Perez, who has been up twice, and twice he is grounded out.
The Phillies are going to walk Tony Perez in this situation and pitch to Larry Parrish.
So this will load the bases. Tony Perez getting an intentional walk. Perez led the Expos and runs batted in with 91 of them last year. And the Phillies will walk Tony Perez and hope for a double play ground ball off the bat of Larry Parrish.
Probably a good move, too, because Tony Perez might go 0 for 3 in a game, but boy, he sees runners on second and third. Like Harry mentioned, the 91 RBIs last year when he looked like he had no shot at it. He's a great clutch hitter and a good RBI man, and it's a good move to walk him in this spot.
So the Expos have the bases loaded, 1 out. Cash at third, Dawson at second, Perez at first, and here's Larry Parrish. Parrish has struck out, doubled, and scored a run. Montreal leading 4-3 in the 6th inning. Brewster stretches, the pitch to Parrish. Sinker ball low for a ball. 1-0 to Larry Parrish. Now the stretch by Brewster. 1-0 pitch to Parrish. Swing and a foul back up over the screen. A ball and a strike. Warren Brewster in a jam in his first inning in relief of Jim Lombard. Here's Brewster's 1-1 pitch. Swing and a high foul down the right field side. Well out of play. Brewster has the jump on Parrish. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Del Unser waits on deck. Bases loaded with Expos, 1 down. Here's Brewster's 1-2 pitch. Late swing and a foul straight back. Parrish at the last minute got his bat on that ball, guarding the plate, and Brewster stays in front of him, a ball and 2 strikes. Bruce stretches. 1-2 pitch. Swing, ground ball, base hit right field. Dave Cash scores. Rounding third, Dawson. McBride's throw not in time. Dawson scores. Going to third base, Perez, and on the throw, Parrish at second. The Expos lead it 6-3. So Parrish grounded a base hit to right field, knocking in a pair. Montreal now in front 6-3.
Been hearing reports that he's an improved hitter, and he showed it right there by stroking that ball to the opposite field. Larry Parrish has always been a dead pull hitter, would always pull off the breaking ball and pitches off the outside of the plate. He'd try to pull him and hit into double plays, and he just went with that pitch, and the Phillies were playing him way over like they normally would, and he stroked it well to the opposite field.
Now with the runners at second and third and first base open, the Phillies will intentionally walk Del Unser. This will be the second intentional walk of the inning. That'll reload the bases with one out and bring up Chris Spire, who is tapped out in front of the plate and hit a 2-run home run. So Montreal now leading 6-3, making the most of their 6 hits. Here's ball 4, and Unser goes down to first base. Tony Perez at third, Larry Parrish at second, Del Unser at first, 1 out, and Chris Spire the batter. Spire is off to a hot start, getting 444. Brewster's pitch to Spire is low for a ball. Now the stretch by Brew and the 1-0 pitch. High and inside, ball 2. 2-0 to Chris Spire. Well, the Phillies got back close within 1, but Montreal has added another deuce. Here in the 6th, they lead at 6-3. The 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. 2-1 to Chris Spire. Brewster's 2-1 pitch. Swing, and it's bounced off the plate foul. 2-2 to Spire. Tony Perez at third. He was intentionally walked. Larry Parrish at second. He singled. Del Unser at first. He was intentionally walked. And 1 out. Here's Brewster's 2-2 pitch. Swinging another foul ball. Stays 2-2 to Spire. Brewster stretches. 2-2 pitch. Swing and another foul ball into the upper deck this time behind the plate. Spire hangs in there. The count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brewster's 2-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Spire went for a low pitch. Brewster. That's a big strike out there. His first. That's 2 down, and that'll bring up pitcher Steve Rogers. Rogers has been up twice. Twice he is grounded out. Bases remain loaded with 2 down. Here's the pitch to Rogers. Low for a ball. Bottom half of the 5th at Cincinnati, the Reds lead San Francisco 3-2. That's Bill Bonham against Vida Blue. Terry Whitfield, a San Francisco home run. St. Louis leads Pittsburgh 1-0 after 2. John Candelaria for the Pirates, Bob Forsch for the Cardinals. Dodgers 2-0 over Houston after 1. Don Sutton against Joe Niekro. Now time is called as some debris has been thrown on the field, and Mary Sue Stiles chases it down. 1-0 to pitcher Steve Rogers with the bases loaded and 2 outs, 2 runs in. Here's Brewster's pitch. Low, ball 2, 2-0. Now the stretch by Brewster and the 2-0 pitch. Missed, low and outside, ball 3s. Behind pitcher Steve Rogers, 3-0. No room on base for him. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Over for a strike called, 3-1. Rogers looking down at the take is still on. Undoubtedly it is. 3-1 pitch to him. Ball 4. He walked him to force in a run, and the Expos now lead it 7-3. Rogers gets the bases loaded walk. Perez scores. Montreal leading now 7-3, and that'll bring up the top of the order Warren Cromartie. Third walk given up by Brewster. 2 of them have been intentional walks. Expos have batted around in the 6th. Cromartie is 0 for 2 after coming in for Ellis Valentine. Valentine taken out with a sprained right knee. Cromartie is struck out and grounded out. Here's the pitch to Cromartie. It's over for a strike call. Expos have 7 runs and 6 hits. Phillies 3 runs and 5 hits. The pitch to Cromartie, line shot foul down the right field side. Well hit but foul, and it's 0-2 to Warren Cromartie. Larry Parrish at third, Del Unser at second, Steve Rogers at first. 2 outs. Stretch by Brewster. Here's the pitch to Cromartie, low and inside. A ball and 2 strikes to Warren Cromartie. Phillies play Cromartie well to the opposite field, way over. Luzinski close to the line and left. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Cromartie goes down swinging, but the Expos have a big inning. Batting around, scoring 3 times in the inning. On 2 hits. No Philly errors. 3 men left. And after 5.5, Montreal leads the Phils 7-3. Plymouth Arrow gets great mileage, 39 on the highway, 29 in the city, and has a low sticker price, $38.41, excluding taxes and destination charges, and features like reclining buckets, tinted glass, and fold-down rear seat. So when you get a Plymouth Arrow, you get your money's worth. The mileage is an EPA estimate for a manual transmission Arrow with 1.6-liter engine. Your mileage may differ. Plymouth Arrow's great mileage, price, and features give you your money's worth. See it today at your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer. When you paint this year, select the paint that lasts longer. MAB Seashore House Paint. It gives you more years per gallon. In fact, it's the best paint you can buy. That's because MAB Seashore House Paint was especially designed for the harsh, rugged weather conditions on the shore, like wind, rain, sun, and especially salt air. So when it comes to painting your home, inside or out, think of MAB in the more than 300 MAB paint stores, dealers, and Rich Lux Home Centers. Bank AmeriCard and Master Charge accepted.
Batter up for a new season of Big League Baseball. And once again, Acme Markets is proud to be sponsoring the Philadelphia Phillies. With a team as great as the Phillies, you expect to see great action. And at a store as great as Acme Super Saver, you expect to find a team of men and women doing their best to give you the finest service in the area, striving to keep our stores clean, attractive, and fully stocked at all times. Come see our team in action at your Acme Super Saver Market.
Well, we move to the bottom half of the 6th inning with the Expos leading 7-3, and Rich Hebner will lead off for the Phils. He is grounded out and single. Hebner's base hit knocked in one of the Phillies' runs. 7-3 Montreal as Rogers gets ready to work to Rich Hebner. Here's the pitch to Hebner. Swing and a very high fly ball center field. Right there is Andre Dawson. He waits, makes the catch, and Hebner is out on 1 pitch. Let's pause for station identification along the Phillies Baseball Network.
This is KYW 1060 Philadelphia. It's clear skies and 61 degrees on Independence Mall. KYW News Time, 9:30.
I'll bring up Gary Maddox. Gary is fouled out to right and popped up to second. Rogers pitched to Maddox. A little bit high and inside for a ball. 1-0 to Gary. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Maddox. Swing and a miss at a good breaking ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, the Phillies will be on the road after the game tonight, going to St. Louis, Pittsburgh, and Montreal. Back home here on the 24th of this month against the Chicago Cubs. Cubs in Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, the 24th, 25th, and 26th. 1-1 pitch to Maddox. Swing, a line drive, base hit, right center field. Andre Dawson over to cut it off, and he'll hold Gary to a single. Well, Maddox picks up the Phillies' 6th hit off Rogers. That'll bring up Bob Boone. Booney has grounded out and lined out to left. Cincinnati just got 3 more off Ida Blue, and at the end of 5, the Reds lead San Francisco 6-2. Maddox first base, 1 out. The pitch to Boone. Inside with a fastball, 1-0. Remember that big weekend series with San Diego. It'll be batting glove weekend when the Phillies return to Veterans Stadium. April 28th, 29th, and 30th. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Boone. It's low, ball 2. Autographed batting gloves on that weekend on the 28th. All youngsters 14 and under getting a batting glove autographed by Mike Schmidt. On the 29th, batting gloves autographed by Gary Maddox. And on the 30th, Sunday, batting gloves autographed by Greg Luzinski. 2-0 the count to Boone. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Low, ball 3, and Rogers is behind him 3-0 as once again Stan Bonson gets up in the bullpen. Expos keep giving Rogers a fairly comfortable lead, and the last 2 innings, the 4th and the 5th, he opened the innings with walks. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Strike called, a fastball that's over. 3-1 the count to Boone. Maddox first base, 1 out. Rogers stretches. 3-1 pitch to Boone. Low, ball 4. He walked him, and the Phillies have 2 men on base, and Dick Williams pops out of the Expos dugout. Well, as you mentioned, Chris, that can really put some gray hair on a manager. One point, he had a 4-1 lead. He walked the leadoff man. And now Williams is going to take Rogers out. Rogers will leave the ball game. That's the 4th walk that he has issued. Williams is making the way to the bullpen. So we have a pitching change for the Expos. We're in the bottom of the 6th. It's Montreal 7 and the Phils 3, and we'll be back after this brief pause.
Want to add new sparkle and excitement to a humdrum world? Well, enroll for summer courses at Widener College in nearby suburban Chester, PA. Widen your world with Widener. There are long lists of subjects available, both graduate and undergraduate, both day and evening classes, as well as a Widener Way for Women program. Perhaps you need a few credits prior to September. Perhaps you're thinking of re-entering college. Perhaps you're out of high school a few years and want to give college a try. Widener College is a fully accredited college where you can work toward a degree or just take a course or 2 that will make your life more interesting and your career more rewarding. Day courses at Widener include business administration, engineering, social science, paralegal, humanities, and science, just to name a few. In addition, evening courses include accounting and management, liberal arts, science, engineering, and social science. MBA courses are also offered in the evening. Make this summer rewarding as well as enjoyable. Call Widener College at 876-5551 for additional information.
Plymouth Arrow gets great mileage, 39 on the highway, 29 in the city, and has a low sticker price, $38.41, excluding taxes and destination charges, and features light reclining buckets, tinted glass, and fold-down rear seat. So when you get a Plymouth Arrow, you get your money's worth. The mileage is an EPA estimate for a manual transmission Arrow with 1.6-liter engine. Your mileage may differ. Plymouth Arrow's great mileage, price, and features give you your money's worth. See it today at your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer. The new pitcher for the Expos, veteran right-hander Stan Bonson, appearing in his 3rd game for Dick Williams this year. He has pitched 2 1/3 innings, given up 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned, struck out 2, walked 3. An earned run mark of 3.86. It was Bonson who gave up a pinch grand slam to the New York Mets' Steve Anderson at an Expos log. Ted Sizemore will be the first one to face him. The Expos are counting on this fella, Bonson, along with left-hander Darrell Knowles out of their bullpen. Bonson last year was 1-2 at Oakland before coming to Montreal, where he won 8 and lost 9.
It's a spot where Sizemore a lot of times will catch the third baseman back and drop a bunt when the Phillies need some base runners, and wouldn't be surprised to see him try it in this at-bat.
Size is struck out and walked, and the pitch to him is over for a strike call. 1 strike to Ted Sizemore. Maddox at second base, he singled. Boone at first base, he walked, 1 out. Bottom of the 6th, Phillies trail 7-3. Jay Johnstone in the on-deck circle to bat for Brewster. Pitch to Sizemore, pops a foul out of play, and Bonson is quickly in front of him, 0-2. Paid crowd tonight, 19,110. Nothing in 2 to count to Ted Sizemore. The stretch by Bonson. 2-strike pitch. Fastball quite high. It's 1-2. Steve Rogers leaving the ball game. Cannot lose it. He could win it. The Phillies have beaten him 8 straight times. The Expos lead this game 7-3. 1-2 pitch to Sizemore. Breaking ball high, and it's 2-2. Stan Bonson looks down at Gary Carter for the sign. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a line drive to left field. Well hit, but Cromartie is back at the warning track and makes the catch. Sizemore hit the ball sharply, but caught by Cromartie for out number 2. That'll bring up Jay Johnstone to pinch hit for Warren Brewster. The popular Jay Johnstone gets a big round of applause as he comes up. Jay Bird has been at bat once so far this year as a pinch hitter, and he struck out. Reed will be the Phillies' new pitcher. Maddox at second, Boone at first, 2 down, and Johnstone batting for Warren Brewster. Phillies trail 7-3. Stretch by Bonson. And the pitch to Johnstone. Swing and a pop-up down the left field line. Coming on is Cromartie. Has room and makes the catch, and the Phils go down in the 6th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left. The end of 6, it's Montreal 7 and the Phillies 3.
Oh, I'd like to get to know ya, have a chance to show ya, round for just a while. Take you to the places, meet some brand new faces, share a coke and make you smile. Coke gets light, but when you see in the town, it's really nice to get to know ya, have a coke and show ya, round for just a while. Coke gets light, and everybody wants it.
I used to think of the George machine at Girard Bank as my own private money game. If I forgot to go to the bank or needed cash on a weekend, there he was. Proceed to go and collect $200. Man, I owned that withdrawal button. You know what I mean? And then I looked at all the buttons. Wow. Checking, savings, deposits, loans, transfers, balances. I got a whole bank right here. Now I do my everyday banking with George. I push the buttons, and I run the bank.
George lets you be the banker. Girard Bank. We're there when you need us.
The Phillies have a terrific offer for all women. On Sunday, May 14th, the Phils will be playing Pete Rose, Joe Morgan, George Foster, John Bench, and all the Cincinnati Reds. As an added attraction, all women will receive a free canvas Phillies tote bag that is perfect for many occasions. That's a free Phillies canvas tote bag for all women on Sunday, May 14th, when the Phils play the Cincinnati Reds at Veterans Stadium. Dave Cash will lead off for the Expos. The new Phillies pitcher is Ron Reed. Reed coming on for Warren Brewster. Cash is 2 out of 3, is grounded out, twice doubled and twice scored. Reed appearing in his second game. He's pitched 2 innings, given up no hits, no runs, struck out 2, walked 1. Pitch to Cash, fastball high for a ball. One and nothing the count to Cash, and Reed's pitch to him, swinging a pop foul out of play. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. (7-3) Montreal. Hits are even at 6 apiece, but the Expos have used the long ball and walks to score. 1-1 pitch. Fastball high and inside to him. It's 2-1. Wind up by Reed. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a bouncing foul off the plate. 2-2 the count to Dave Cash. Cash will be followed by Andre Dawson and then Gary Carter here in the 7th. The 2-2 pitch to Cash. Swing and a foul ball straight back. Maine's 2-2 to Dave Cash, leading off Montreal's 7th. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Checked his swing a little bit outside, a full count to him. Cash has pulled both of his doubles down the left field line. 3-2 pitch to Cash. Pop foul out of play. It remains 3-2 to him. Well, on Friday night from St. Louis, the broadcasting and telecasting that game, Steve Carlton will go for the Phillies against Mark Littell for the Cardinals. Pitch to Cash. Fly ball right center field, right to where Gary Maddox is playing him, and he squeezes it for out number 1. Cash is out 1 down. That'll bring up Andre Dawson, the center fielder. Dawson is grounded out, struck out, and been hit by a pitch ball. Cincinnati has knocked Vida Blue out of the box. Reds well in front of San Francisco, 8-3 after 6. Here's the pitch to Dawson, and it misses low and away for a ball. Pittsburgh has tied St. Louis. They're through 3. The Pirates won. The Cardinals won. John Candelaria against Bob Forsch. Pitch to Dawson is low in the dirt, and it's ball 2, 2-0. 1 out, nobody on base. Expos on top, 7-3 in the 7th. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Dawson. Line drive, base hit, left field. Buzinski gets it back into the infield, and Andre Dawson at first with a solid line single to left. The Expos' 7th hit, their first off Reed, and that'll bring up Gary Carter. Carter has struck out, hit a 2-run home run, and grounded out. Andre Dawson, first base, 1 out. Takes a good-sized lead off first, and Reed throws that way, and Dawson gets back. Another quick throw to first base, and Andre Dawson dives back in safely. One down, Dawson, first base. Stretch by Reed. And the pitch to Gary Carter. Swinging a 1-hopper to Boa, should be 2. To Sizemore, 1, relay, double play. So the Expos go down in the 7th. No runs on 1 hit. No errors and none left. We move to the bottom half of the 7th inning. It's Montreal 7 and the Phillies 3.
The day is done. Coming home. It's time to let it go. It's the moment to unwind. So just say bud. And pour the king of beer and settle back and please yourself. No matter what you do, no matter when
You know a glass of bud is like an easy chair when you're big Budweiser. Hey, let me tell you something. Settling back with a long day behind you and a cold bud in front of you, my man, that's living. When you're big Budweiser, you said it all. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
Bottom half of the 7th inning. For more play-by-play, here's Andy Musser.
Thank you, Harry, and it's brand new this season, a brand new Daily News home run payoff, because now every hit pays off. In addition to the 4 tickets to a future Phillies game, every single in the payoff inning pays $20, every double $50, and every triple pays $100. Of course, you can still win $1,000 for a homer and $5,000 for a grand slam. To put yourself in the ball game, use the home run payoff entry coupon, appearing every day in the Daily News. Remember, now every hit pays off. And the Phillies are at the top of their lineup to start it here in the 7th inning. It's Bake McBride, and he'll be batting for Bonnie Grimes of Montrose Street in Philadelphia. Stan Bonson, right-hander, winds and throws low, ball 1. Bake has batted into a pair of force-outs tonight. He has also walked. Right-hander winds, and here's the next pitch. It's in the dirt, and a foul ball as McBride offered at it, trying to bunt his way on. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bonson was 1-1 against the Phillies last year, and in a September 30th game, he gave up back-to-back home runs to Lozinski, Hebner, and Maddox. The Bulls went into the upper deck. One ball and 1 strike to Bake McBride. Here's Bonson's delivery, and he backed him off the plate. 2-1. Pitch way inside. Paid crowd tonight, 19,110. And they are watching the Expos lead this game at the moment by a 7-3 score. McBride, Boa, and Schmidt to bat in the home run payoff inning. And here's a gapper into left center field. Dawson way out that way. He's not going to get it. Extra bases for McBride, and the ball bounds over the fence. That'll be a ground rule double for Bake McBride to start out the 7th inning. And we have a winner in our home run payoff inning, as the double now pays off in $50. So congratulations to Bonnie Grimes of Montrose Street in Philadelphia. And Bake McBride now extends his batting streak. That is his 16th straight. That, of course, stretches back to last season. The batter now is Larry Boa. And Larry will be batting for Keith Rothenberger of Pennsylvania Avenue in Shillington, Pennsylvania, in the home run payoff. Larry has a single and an RBI tonight, 1 for 2. He tries to bunt. It goes foul, strike 1. Expos ahead 7-3, but the Phillies capable of an explosive inning. Left-hander Darrell Knowles warming up for the Expos, as is Canadian Bill Atkinson. McBride at second with nobody out. Larry Boa shoots one into center field. Dawson will get there, takes it for the out. Boa out on a line drive to center field, first out of the inning, and we send 4 tickets to a future game to Keith Rothenberger of Pennsylvania Avenue in Shillington. With 1 away, it brings up Mike Schmidt. He'll be swinging away for the Farrell family of Brown Street in Philadelphia. Mike has driven in a run, and he leads the Phillies in that department with 5. Phillies facing off against Stan Bonson from Council Bluffs, Iowa. And a fellow who was an All-America at the University of Nebraska. Schmidt bluffs a bunt and takes high, ball 1.
Well, Schmidt's gotten rid of that hickory bat he's been using since the start of the season. I don't know whether he broke it last time up or whether he just decided to go with a different bat against a different pitcher. Hitters are funny. The guy will throw them a certain way and they'll go to a different bat sometimes, but he's discarded his hickory bat for this AB.
1-0 the count on Schmidt. Officially, Mike is 0 for 2 tonight. The pitch to him, ground ball headed toward short. It goes through. Spire can't get it. McBride is going to score, and the Phillies have their 4th run of the ball game. That'll be a single for Mike Schmidt, and we have another winner in the Daily News home run payoff inning. That'll be $20 sent to the Farrell family of Brown Street in Philadelphia. And the Phillies creep back in the ball game once again as Mike picks up his 2nd RBI. Now Greg Luzinski, the batter, and the ball hitting for Arthur Berry of Atlantic City, New Jersey. Greg has an RBI in every game so far, but not tonight's. He's 1 for 3, singled in the 4th inning. Expos lead at 7-4. Pitch to the ball is low, ball 1. Bonson has a pound ball, and I think that's what he threw right there. Bonson at the belt. Here's his pitch to Luzinski. It's a pop-up in foul ground wide of first. Perez is over. He looks like he's got room, and Perez takes it for the out. Luzinski fouls out to the Expo first baseman for the 2nd out of the inning. And 4 tickets to a future game on the way to Arthur Berry of Atlantic City. With 2 away, the batter is Richie Hebner, and in the Daily News payoff inning, he'll be hitting for James Kavanaugh of North Franklin Street in Philadelphia. Hebner, a 1 for 3 night, has knocked in a run. Phillies have scored in 3 of the last 4 innings, but they trail the game 7-4. Pitch on the way to Hebner. Ground ball to first base. It hops away from Perez. It hit him in fair ground. In foul ground, he makes the play to first, not in time. Hebner is safe. Well, that ball reached Tony Perez at first base and then bounded away from him into foul ground. We'll have to wait and see whether it's a hit or an error.
It should be a base hit. That ball was wickedly hit, and it came up, kind of had a crazy hop and came up and hit Tony Perez right in the chest, and that should be a base hit. And there's no scoring decision yet.
They have overruled Chris Reeler, who was our official scorer in spring training. We could get away with your remarks at that point, Chris.
Well, they have about 18 people that score here some nights, so they had a little committee decision then.
And that decision is going to cost Mr. James Kavanaugh, but we will send him 4 tickets to a future game. James Kavanaugh of Philadelphia. Now at the plate, Gary Maddox. Gary, right-handed batter, batting for Geraldine Brown of 51st Street in Philadelphia. And a foul ball, strike 1. That's the first error of the ball game. Maddox has 1 hit and 3 tries tonight. He fouled out to right, hit a humpback liner to second, and singled his last time up. Montreal leads 7-4. Runners at first and second with 2 away in the 7th inning. Right-hander Bonson stretched, and then he stepped off. Bonson, a veteran pitcher. He's 33 now in his 11th big league season. He spent many a year in the American League. Pitch to Maddox, a tapper back through the middle. It's going to be a tough play. Spire hits the runner, and here comes another runner on in to score, Mike Schmidt. The play was made to second base, and the ball hit Richie Hebner, and the Phillies get a run out of it, and now it's 7-5.
Well, Spire made a terrible play on that ball. He probably couldn't have gotten Maddox on the play. He should have just kept the ball, or else at least try to get Maddox at first, because there's no way that Dave Cash was looking for him to spin around and flip that ball to him, and that's what he did, and Cash wasn't looking for it, and that's really a bad play by Spire.
There's a hit ruled on the play for Maddox, although he doesn't get an RBI, and so we're going to send $20 to Geraldine Brown of South 51st Street in Philadelphia. And the batter is Bob Boone. Runners at first and second. Boone batting for Theodore Williams of Mayfield Street in Philadelphia. The pitch is over for a strike. So Hebner's at second base. Maddox at first base following the hit. And there will be an error charged to Spire. Second error of the inning for Montreal. Boone officially 0 for 2 with the base on balls. Here's a foul ball launched out of play behind the Phillies dugout. No balls and 2 strikes. 0-2 the count on Boone. Phillies with a pair of runs in the inning. Phillies have scored 5 runs in the last 5 innings. Boone takes outside a ball.
Phillies keep getting close in this game, and then they seem to give up a couple runs every time they get close. They've been within 1 run a couple times, and now they're back to within 2 again. They really put a lot of pressure on a defense.
And let's make it 5 runs they've scored in the last 4 innings, starting with a single run in the 4th. The pitch on the way to Boone. Outside, good stop by Carter. It was low. Two balls and 2 strikes the count on Boone. Phillies have been behind by one dimension or another the entire way tonight. 2 outs in the inning. Bonson stretches. Here's his pitch to Boone. It's a pop-up, and somebody's going to get this one in foul ground. Carter behind the plate takes it for the final out, and we send 4 tickets to a future game to Theodore Williams of Mayfield Street in Philadelphia. Phillies pick up a couple of runs. They do it on 3 hits. There were 2 errors, and they leave 2 men on base. At the end of 7, the Expos lead it 7-5, and now time for a tasty break. When the Phillies meet the Cincinnati Reds here at the Vet, game time 1:35. Here's an ex-Red, Tony Perez, to lead it off for Montreal. Reed starts him out with a fastball outside, ball 1. Perez is 0 for 2 tonight. He did draw an intentional walk in the 6th inning, and he came around to score. Outside, 2-0 the count to Tony Perez. Montreal leads it 7-5. Next pitch to Perez. Big swing and a miss, a slider. 2 balls and 1 strike. Phillies scored 2 runs last inning. 1 of them was earned, 1 was unearned, as the Expos made 2 errors in the inning. Reed winds. Here's the pitch to Perez. Outside and low, 3-1 the count. Tony to be followed by Larry Parrish and Del Unser. The Expos with 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th. Swing and a miss. Perez strikes. And that's a 3-2 count. 3-2 on Perez. Reed winds, and the full count pitch, foul back by Tony to the screen. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The Expos with a pair of 2-run homers tonight. Carter had 1, Spire the other. Again, the full count pitch. Perez fouls it back out of play, and this one goes to the upper deck. Phillies going on the road tomorrow. They'll be going to St. Louis, Pittsburgh, and Montreal before returning here on the 24th against San Diego. Here's a fly ball hit well into left center field. Maddox racing hard, and he's not going to get there. He does get it on the bounce, though. An incredible stop by Maddox, but that'll be a double for Tony Perez. A fly ball double in the alley in left center, and Perez is at second base with his first hit of the game. The Expos have had their share of extra base hits tonight.
Macias is running for Perez. Macias.
And the Expos are going to a pinch runner down at second base. Sam Mejias will be in the ball game to run for Perez. Mejias. Incidentally, I want to mention that when the Phillies return on April 24th, it'll be against the Chicago Cubs. The Cubs coming in on the 24th, 25th, and 26th. Now the batter, Larry Parrish. First pitch to Parrish, backs him away, ball 1. Ron Reed, third pitcher in the ball game, working for the Phillies. Reed stretches. Here's the pitch to Parrish, foul away. And we'll pause for station identification. The Phillies Baseball Network.
At 10:01, this is KYW Philadelphia. AccuWeather says clear and mild tonight, the low 50. Tomorrow, sunny, windy, mild with a chance of a brief shower. Right now, 61 degrees and clear on Independence Mall.
1 ball and 1 strike, the count on Parrish. He's 2 out of 3 tonight, a double and a single, and he has knocked in 2 runs. The pitch to him, foul to the screen. 1-2 the count. Four doubles and 2 home runs, a part of the Montreal barrage tonight. They've had 8 hits overall. And here's a liner toward right field. McBride's not going to get it. It 1 hops in front of him, and being held at third base is Mejias. Solid single to right field by Perez, his 3rd hit of the ball game. So the Expos have runners at, did I say Perez by Parrish? And the Expos have runners at the corners with nobody out. Parrish, a solid single to right.
Well, Parrish, we talked about him earlier in the game, how much improved as a hitter he is, and what he's trying to do in that situation was hit the ball to the right side and give himself up and move the runner over to the third, and he wound up getting a line drive base hit to right, which is what will happen a lot of times.
The Expos from scoring any more. We're in the 8th. Reed at the stretch, and here's the pitch. Ball foul back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Infield in for the Phillies. With nobody out, runners at first and third. Reed at the belt. Here's his pitch. It's a pop fly ball, not very deep behind the infield left side. Boa way back, a long run for Larry, but he gets it, and nobody's going to be able to advance. Boa, because he was playing in, really had to go a long way for that ball, but he got it, and Unser is out.
That was a super play by Boa. As Andy said, the infield was up, and Luzinski was playing Del Unser well over towards the line and fairly deep, and I think Greg might have been able to catch up to it, but Larry Boa wasn't sure, and he went back and made a good play on that ball. And it'll be interesting to see now if the Phillies will move their infield back and play for the double play ball, because Spire does not run well, and he'll usually hit the ball hard on the ground, and it looks like that's what they're going to do, go back to double play depth now.
Spire 1 for 3 on the night, a home run. So the Phillies set up for the double play with 1 down. Still runners at the corners. Montreal leading 7-5, and Spire. Reed stretches. The pitch to Spire is fouled away. Strike 1. This is turning out to be a jinx ballpark for Ellis Valentine. He hurt his knee on a swing tonight, and he was injured here last year in that rain-delayed doubleheader and missed quite a few ball games for Montreal. Spire swings and fouls another one out of play, and Reed gets the jump 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes on Chris Spire. Reed's ready to work, and here's his pitch. Outside, 1-2. Starting pitcher is long gone in this one. Lonborg, the starter for the Phillies, went 5, gave up 4 hits and 4 runs. Rogers, the starter for the Expos, went 5 1/3, gave up 6 hits and 3 runs, and he could still be the winner. Here come the runners, and it's a bunt, a squeeze bunt, throw to the plate. Out at the plate. Ron Reed made a super play. Booney hung on, and Mejias is out at the plate. A squeeze attempt by the Expos, and the Phillies nail him.
Oh, what an outstanding play Ron Reed made on that ball. Really, a 2-strike squeeze like that is going to take anybody by surprise. And Chris Spire bunted the ball right back to Reed, and he came right to the plate to Bob Boone, and Booney put a terrific block on, and they just nailed the runner at the plate. And Reed will do that. He's an outstanding athlete who's a basketball player, and he fields his position well, and that was really an exciting play and very, very well executed by the Phillies pitcher and catcher.
Now the batter Stan Bonson with runners at first and second and 2 down. Bonson takes inside a ball. Montreal reliever getting his first at bat in the ball game. Parrish at second, Spire at first following his squeeze. Of course, he'll be on with a fielder's choice. Bonson takes low and outside as Reed just does mid.
Well, the last time the Phillies had a situation like this. They managed to get Spire out, and then Ryan Brewster wound up walking the pitcher, and now Reed's running a deep count. That's the last thing he wants to do.
The 2-0 pitch on the way to Bonson, a strike call. That's a big run the Phillies just saved. It's a big difference between being down 2 and being down 3. It's 7-5 now. Pitch to Bonson. Hard ground ball, deflects off the mound, but fielded by Sizemore, and he throws to first for the out. We'll have to find out whether Reed touched it or not, or whether it bounced off the mound. I think possibly Reed. Yeah, they're ruling that Reed did touch the ball, so mark it 1-4-3, and the inning is over. For the Expos, no runs, 2 hits and 2 left. At the end of 7.5, Montreal leads 7-5.
The Cat is really on the prowl at your Lincoln Mercury dealers. He wants these dealers to sell every Mercury in stock. Every one. That includes the anniversary edition 4-door Mercury Marquis with its traditional full-size luxury and comfort, plus a special value package featuring a vinyl roof, luxury wheel covers, body side moldings, flight bench seat, and more. Right now, this special package is being offered by Lincoln Mercury to its dealers at a factory discount. So check out your local Lincoln Mercury dealer now. At the sign of the Cat.
I just saved myself a trip to the bank and a trip to the post office. I've got this new thing going with George Bank by Phone from Girard Bank. Just paid a month's worth of bills, did a whole pile of banking. I even gave myself a loan. Oh, sure, a few other banks have pay by phone, but Girard lets me pay and bank by phone. You know, it's almost like having a Girard Bank right here in my kitchen.
Ask for a demonstration of George Bank by Phone at any Girard Bank office.
If you used to shy away from Penn Jersey because we didn't carry a big name in tires, we've got the biggie, Goodyear. That's right. All Penn Jersey stores now stock Goodyear tires. We've got them in all sizes for all cars, and we can install them right away. So if you want Goodyear tires at low prices, come to a Penn Jersey auto store. And here's more good news.
Now, Goodyear's all-weather 78 polyester black walls as low as $20 plus $1.72 federal excise tax for size B78 13.
Defensively, the Expos making some changes now. Pepe Frias coming in the game to play at second for Cash. Mejia stays in the game. He'll go to right. Del Unser moves from right to first base. Ted Sizemore to lead it off for the Phillies. And they have Jose Cardinal in the leadoffs in the on-deck circle. Here's a fly ball to center field. Dawson getting over into left center, and he makes the catch for the out. Sizemore flies out on the first pitch, 1 down in the 8th inning. And Jose Cardinal will be up for the Phillies, officially making his debut for the Philadelphia Phillies. Cardinal, a 14-year veteran, batted .239 last year, an offseason for the Cubs. Although he was their top pinch hitter last year, he had 10 hits and 30 times up. So Cardinal, veteran right-handed batter, comes in as a pinch hitter. The Phillies used him quite extensively at first base this spring. Bonson winds. Here's the pitch to Jose. It's low, ball 1. Cardinal has one figure that leads all active players in the major leagues. He has stolen home 9 times. And that's the highest total among active ball players today. Here's a fly ball into shallow left field. Shortstop Spire is backing off, making the call, and Spire has it for the out. Cardinal pops out to shortstop. 2 down in the 8th inning, and Bake McBride hits. Bake extended his batting streak by doubling last inning, and so over 2 seasons now, Bake has hit in 16 straight. We want to send out birthday greetings tonight to Terry Harmon. This is Terry's 34th birthday. Pitch on the way to Bake. Big swing and a miss, strike 1. Final in from Cincinnati. The Reds defeated the Giants 12-3. The Reds banged out 20 hits tonight. Bonham winning his second game, and the loser, Vida Blue, his National League debut. Here's a ground ball right side, through for a hit. Bake McBride gets a hit. 2-out single for McBride as he picks up his second hit of the ball game. And the Phillies going to a pinch hitter for Larry Boa. It'll be Dave Johnson. Left-handed batting Dave Johnson coming up as a pinch hitter. Davey 0 for 2 this season so far. The Houston Astros have just scored 5 times in the 4th inning to lead the Dodgers now 8-3 at the end of 4. Don Sutton knocked out of the ball game. Charlie Huff in there pitching, and Joe Niekro, the starter, still working for Houston. Rick Monday has a home run for the Dodgers. Art Howe has one for Houston. That was a 3-run homer by Howe. So the Phillies sending some power to the plate, hoping that Dave Johnson can tie the ball game on one swing of the bat. Here's a foul ball off the plate, strike 1. Johnson with a good season for the Phillies last year. He batted .321. And Davey as a pinch hitter was even better, .346. One strike on 35-year-old Dave Johnson. Montreal on top 7-5. McBride the runner at first and 2 down. Bonson at the belt. Here's his pitch. It misses high, 1 ball and 1 strike. St. Louis leads Pittsburgh 2-1. Cards batting last of the 6th inning. Candelaria against Forsch in that one. 1-1 pitch to Johnson. Takes a big cut but pops a foul behind the plate. Carter is over in front of the Phillies dugout. And he has it for the 3rd out of the inning. Phillies out in the 8th. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left on base. At the end of 8, Montreal leads 7-5.
They call me happy track, 'cause I'm walking and happy, feeling high and stepping snappy. Move my feet to the beat of a brand new day. What do you say? Hey, I'm making happy track, jogging in the sunshine, skating on the skateboard, having a fun time, drinking a Coke, 'cause Coke has life and these thirsty feet of mine. 'Cause Coke has life and everybody wants the life. Coke has life and everybody.
I'm a PhD in economics, right? I run around to 3 stores to buy food, so I save $1 here, $1 there, and yet I let $200 sit in my checking account where it doesn't earn a cent. No more. Now I use the George machine at Girard Bank to move money from my savings to my checking account only when I need it. With George, I push the buttons and I'm the brains behind the bank. That's got to make me the smartest banker in town.
George lets you be the banker. Girard Bank. We're there when you need us.
Haddon Travel invites you to join Larry Boa to spend 2 weeks in the Hawaiian Islands, departing Philadelphia October 28th for just $799. A week on Waikiki Beach, and then Maui, Kona, and Hilo. The complete price, $799, and that includes United Airlines scheduled flights, deluxe hotels, plus breakfast and dinner every day in Honolulu. October 28th, 2 weeks, 3 islands, $799 complete. Larry Boa hosts this great trip to Hawaii. For a free brochure, call Haddon Travel in Pennsylvania, Walnut 3-2816, and in New Jersey, 795-5550. Bud Harrelson, the new shortstop for the Phillies, and Gene Garber, the new pitcher. Garber becoming the 4th hurler used by the Phillies tonight. Warren Cromartie at the plate sends a very high fly ball into left center field. Gary Maddox getting over, and he takes it for the out. Cromartie flies out to center field. That's 1 down in the Montreal 9th inning. The Expos lead at 7-5. And Pepe Frias will bat. He is in the number 2 spot after taking over for Dave Cash. Frias getting his first official at bat of the year. He has appeared in 2 ball games. Looks like the Expos more and more are going to be using Frias defensively for Cash in the late innings. They did it twice in that series at New York. Garber puts a changeup over for a strike. Frias, left-handed batter. Pitch to him, fouled off the plate. Actually, Frias, a switch hitter up there batting as a left-hander right now. Frias has bounced around. He was released 3 times, twice by the Giants and once by the Dodgers, before signing on with the Expos. A versatile player. He's an infielder, but he can also be used in the outfield. Pop foul ball out of play, third base side. No balls and 2 strikes on Frias. Andre Dawson on deck. Reed worked 2 innings for the Phillies, gave up 3 hits and no runs. Pitch just misses. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lonborg still on the hook for this one. Lonnie went the first 5 and gave up 4 hits and 4 runs. Brewster pitched an inning, and the Expos got 3 runs off him. Garber misses outside, 2-2. And Steve Rogers trying to break his streak of having lost 7 straight to the Phillies. The 2-2 to Frias, stroked into left center field, and it'll be in for an extra base hit. The Phillies were playing him around that way, but not deep enough. And Frias motors into second base with a gap double to left field.
Well, Frias is a natural right-handed hitter, and he doesn't hit the ball very hard left-handed. And the way you play most left-handed hitters like that is right on the foul line, and Greg Luzinski was way over in the line, and where Frias hit that ball was right where our left fielder normally would be standing, so it got in the alley real quick and no chance to get it, and Gary Maddox had to come over and field the ball.
That levels out the hits at 10 per side. The Expos, of their 10 hits, 5 have been doubles. They've also had a pair of home runs. Here's Andre Dawson. Garber's pitch to the right-handed batter is over for a strike. Dawson 1 for 3 tonight. Was also hit by a pitch and scored a run. Frias at second base. There is 1 out. Montreal leads the game 7-5. The Expos trying to win only their 2nd game of the year. Low and inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. And this will be a plus for the Expos, getting this kind of performance out of the bullpen from Stan Bonson. Dawson, hard hit ground ball beyond Harrelson at short. It's going to score another run, being waved around as Frias, and he will score. RBI single for Dawson, and the Expos lead it 8-5. Dawson singles to the right of shortstop Bud Harrelson, and Montreal has padded its lead to 3. Here's Gary Carter. He's 1 for 4 tonight, but the 1 was a 2-run homer. He has also struck out, grounded into a double play, and grounded out to short. Garber throws to first. Back in time is Dawson. Here's Garber's next pitch. On the inside corner, a strike, even though Carter backed away from the ball. 1 strike to Gary Carter. Montreal's home run leader last year with 31. He had 3 in 1 game last year. There goes the runner, swing and miss, and they've got him hung up. Here's the throw down to Hebner at first. He is racing Dawson on back. Now chasing him back to first is Sizemore, and Garber puts the tag on him. So Dawson is out. That'll go catcher to Hebner, to Sizemore, to Garber. Second out of the inning, and the base is now empty, but the Expos have a run in and an 0-2 count on Gary Carter. Dawson was running that time, but after Carter swung and missed, he stopped. And Boone played on to first base, and they got him.
Can't figure out why Andre Dawson would stop that. He had a great jump, because Garber really wasn't paying that much attention to him, and he would have stolen the base probably.
Here's the 0-2 pitch, fouled at the plate, and Carter goes down. He's all right, though. Nothing in 2 to Gary Carter. Montreal again leading by 3, 8-5. Pitch on the way to Carter is low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. At one stage in this game, the Expos led it 7-3. Inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Carter. Phillies back on Monday night, May 24th, to play the Chicago Cubs. Here's the 2-2 to Carter. Swing and a miss. Garber strikes him out on a slider. So the inning is over, but Montreal has picked up an insurance run in the ninth. On 2 hits, nobody left on base at the end of 8 1/2. Expos 8, Phillies 5.
Great in any year. MAB paints. When you paint, get the paint that lasts longer. MAB. It gives you more years per gallon. And great in 78 is what people will be saying about the Phillies. MAB has Phillies Great in 78 bumper stickers. And you could win 2 tickets to a Phillies game if one of the MAB spotters sees the Phillies bumper sticker on your car. To get your free Phillies bumper sticker, visit the nearest MAB paint store, dealer, or Rich Luck's home center in your neighborhood.
There's a demanding cat around. He's at your Lincoln Mercury dealers, and he wants these dealers to sell every Mercury in stock. Every one. That means you have a great chance to get into any one of his fine cars right now. From the full-size Mercury Marquis right through his Cougars, Zephyrs, Monarchs, and Bobcats. They're all up for grabs right now. See your Lincoln Mercury dealer quick, because that cat means business. At the sign of the cat.
Well, Friday night, May 5th, is going to be college night here at Veterans Stadium. The Phillies will be playing the New York Mets, and all college students will get $1 off box and reserve seats. Prior to the game, the finalists from the Daily News Disco Contest will participate in the Phillies Disco Contest. That should be a lot of fun. That's college night right here at the Vet, Friday, May 5th. The Phillies and the New York Mets, and $1 off box and reserve seats for all college students. Game time on Fridays, 8:05. Well, Stan Bonson has done a fine job for Montreal out of the bullpen tonight, and he's out there to face the Phillies in the 9th inning, who begin it with Mike Schmidt. Schmidt has knocked in 2 of the Phillies' 5 runs this evening with a sacrifice fly and a single, and he has scored 1 of them. The Cardinals have gotten another run. They lead Pittsburgh 3-1 at the end of 6.5 innings. Candelaria against Bob Forsch. The Dodgers have bounced back with 3 runs in the 5th. They still trail Houston 8-6 at the end of 4.5 innings in a wild one in the Dome tonight. Mike Garman now pitching for the Dodgers. Gene Pence is in there for Houston. Mike Schmidt, part of a 1-for-3 evening tonight. That single he had last time up. So last at bat for the Phillies as they trail this ball game 8-5. The Expos have out hit the Phillies 11-10. Right-hander Bonson winds. Here's the pitch to Mike. It's right at the knees, a strike. Schmidt, Luzinski, and Hebner to bat in the 9th inning for the Phillies. Phillies have never led in this game. And they've been behind by as many as 4. Here's a solidly hit ball to left field, a base hit. So Schmidt gets it started with a line drive single to left. That's the 5th Phillies hit off Bonson, who took over in the 6th inning with 1 out. Nobody out here in the 9th, and Greg Luzinski, the batter, he's 1 for 4, a single in the 4th. Bonson ready to work on Luzinski. Here's the pitch to him, low, ball 1. Knowles and Atkinson, Bill Atkinson, continue in the Montreal bullpen. Knowles, a left-hander. Atkinson, right-hander. Pitch to Luzinski, outside, good block by Carter. And Jim Brewer, Montreal pitching coach, is coming out.
It's been a strange game. The first 3 innings of this game, I think, were played in about 35 minutes, and since then, the pitchers have been in trouble all night, except Bonson, I think, 1 inning that he pitched out of, and it's just been a weird game. It's been about 2.5 hours since the 3rd inning, and the Phillies keep playing uphill all night. They've been getting close, and just when they seem to get close, they'll give up another run or 2 and get far behind where it looks like they don't have any chance, and they come battling back again, and here they are up here in the 9th inning, 3 runs down, but they can always send a lot of firepower to the plate.
Brewer just had something quick to say to Bonson, and he's back toward the dugout now. A 2-0 count on Luzinski. Nobody out in the inning. Parrish a step closer to the line at 3rd than he would have been earlier in the ball game. Here's the pitch to the ball on the inside corner, a strike.
What a pitching coach would say in that spot is, look, even if he hits it out, you still have a 1-run lead, so get in there and challenge him and don't start nibbling to this guy and bring the tying run to the plate. And he threw a fastball right over the inside corner on that pitch.
Now the 2-1 pitch to Luzinski. It's stroked to left field. It's close to the line. It is up against the wall. It's in fair territory. Heading for third, and getting there is Schmidt. And the ball is into second with a double. And the Phillies indeed bring the tying run to the plate. A double by Greg Luzinski. And Dick Williams headed for the mound, and we have seen the last of Stan Bonson. A young lady has come out of the stands to plant a kiss on Mike Schmidt at third base, and she's being escorted off the field. So the ball comes through with a double off the wall in left field. We're going to have a pitching change here at Veterans Stadium for the Montreal Expos. They'll be bringing in a new hurler, and it looks like it's going to be the left-hander Darrell Knowles. And so with a pitching change, we'll be back in just a moment. Phillies fans, here's a great chance to win a free one-week vacation for two. It's a grand and glorious vacation for two at the delightful oceanfront Golden Inn in Avalon, New Jersey, and there's no obligation. Just stop in and register your name for the Golden Inn sweepstakes at any of the 3 Colonial Federal Savings and Loan offices. In Philadelphia at 1206 Chestnut Street, in Drexel Hill at Lansdowne Avenue and State Road across from Bond Shopping Center, or in Havertown on Westchester Pike across from Manoa Shopping Center. Vacations like savings should be planned. Do both at Colonial. We pay the highest interest allowed by law, and we compound interest daily. But there's no obligation to open an account or make a deposit to win the Golden Inn Vacation Sweepstakes. All you do is register your name. The Golden Inn has 2 swimming pools, a spacious poolside terrace, a luxurious dining room, music, dancing, and the most delicious food in South Jersey. Win this great vacation for two. Register today at any Colonial Federal Savings and Loan office in Havertown and Drexel Hill or 1206 Chestnut Street in downtown Philadelphia. Drawing is June 30th. Member FSLIC.
2 years ago, Plymouth introduced the most successful car in its history, Volare. Today, we've got it in 3 styles that all give you your money's worth. The Slant 6 Coupe that gets better mileage than any 6-cylinder automatic built in America. The sedan that's roomiest in its class. And the wagon that's become the #1 selling wagon in America over the past 2 years. Coupe, sedan, or wagon, Volare gives you your money's worth. See it today at your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer. Left-hander Darrell Knowles, who at one time pitched for the Phillies, is on to work now against Richie Hebner. And the Phils are not pinch hitting here. Hebner will stay in the ball game. Nobody out. Runners at second and third, and Montreal leading it 8-5. Here's Hebner. He is 1 for 4 tonight. An RBI single, and now another big streamer was thrown in left field, and I guess they're going to take time to pick that up, which will give us time to pause for station identification. This is the Phillies Baseball Network.
At 10:30, this is KYW Philadelphia. AccuWeather says clear and mild tonight, the low 50. Tomorrow, sunny, windy, and mild with a chance of a brief shower. Currently 60 degrees and clear on Independence Mall.
Left-hander Darrell Knowles, a veteran. He's 36 years of age, from Brunswick, Missouri, in his 13th Major League season. Dick Williams has a lot of confidence in him. He pitched in 7 games in a World Series one time back in '73 for Oakland against the Mets, and Dick Williams was the manager of Oakland at that time, so he did not hesitate to pick up Darrell Knowles when he was available. He was with the Phillies back in '66. This year, Knowles has pitched in 1 ball game, working 2/3 of an inning, giving up 1 hit, 1 run, and that run was a home run. I believe that was the Grand Slam home run hit by Steve Henderson, if I'm not mistaken. Here's Hebner at the plate. Here's the left-hander's pitch to him, and it's a foul ball. Line drive outside of first, but foul. 1 strike on Hebner. Montreal leads by 3, but the Phillies have the tying run at the plate. This crowd has been behind the Phillies all night. They've seen the Phillies fighting from behind this entire ball game. Hebner takes way outside. Carter with a good stop, and now the Phillies have actually out-hit Montreal 12-11. And yet they have never been on top on the scoreboard all night. 1-1, the left-handed batting Richie Hebner. Knowles working from the stretch. Here's his pitch. It's a little pop foul out of play. 1-2, the count to Hebner. Hebner leads the Phillies with 6 hits. And he's driven in a run tonight, his 3rd of the season. Hebner, in a way, may have been robbed of a second hit as he delivered a hard ground ball that bounced away from Perez at first base, and it was ruled an error. 1 of 2 the Expos committed in the 7th inning. Now Knowles is asking for a conference with catcher Gary Carter. In the American League tonight, Detroit leading Texas 3-2. They finished 7 innings. Fidrich pitching against Matlack. Parrish has homered for Detroit, Oliver for Texas. Kansas City has come up with 5 runs in the 6th inning to lead Baltimore 5-1 at the end of 6. Tippy Martinez in relief of Flanagan for Baltimore. Dennis Leonard pitching for Kansas City. Knowles ready to work. The 1-2 pitch just outside a ball. Did not miss by much. Pete Redfern will pitch for Minnesota tonight against Frank Tanana at California. Another late start will be Seattle at Oakland. Chicago defeated Toronto this afternoon 5-4. The 2-2 pitch, fly ball out of play down the left field side. Milwaukee over New York 5-3. Boston beat Cleveland 6-3 this afternoon. Right-hander Howell Dews is warming up in the Expo bullpen. 2 balls and 2 strikes, the count on Hebner. At Atlanta, the Padre-Braves game was postponed by rain tonight. This afternoon, Chicago defeated New York 4-2, and Cincinnati beat San Francisco tonight 12-3. The 2-2 pitch, line drive to center field. Dawson's not going to get it. It's going to fall for a hit. Here comes 1 run in. Bull will stop at 3rd, and the Phillies have made it a 2-run game again, and still nobody out. Line drive shot by Hebner to left center field. And Hebner has knocked in his 2nd run of the game, and here comes Dick Williams sauntering out of the Montreal dugout. The Expos lead trimmed to 8-6, and Williams is going to make a change. With Gary Maddox coming up for the Phillies, Williams is going to go to a right-handed pitcher. It'll probably be Hughes, and we'll be back following this timeout. Now the Expos coming on with Bill Atkinson, the other right-hander that they had warming up in the bullpen. Atkinson, a Canadian from Chatham, Ontario, a 2nd-year player, and he'll be up to face Gary Maddox. So Darrell Knowles was in the ball game to face only 1 batter. There's nobody out in the inning. The Phillies have the potential winning run at the plate now as they trail it 8-6. Luzinski at 3rd, Hebner at 1st. The right-hander stretches. Pitch to Maddox. Line drive caught by Parrish at 3rd, but the Bull gets back in time. That was almost a double play. Oh, my goodness. Maddox is out on a sharply hit ball to Parrish, and Big Luzinski scrambled quickly back to the bag at 3rd.
No, that was a tough break for Gary Maddox. In this situation, the 3rd baseman and the 1st baseman are going to guard the lines and not give up that extra base hit, and Larry Parrish was way over by 3rd base, or that would have been a double down the line.
That brings up Bob Boone. And my New York Knicks won easily tonight at Cleveland, 132-114. Boone takes a strike call. Bob is 0 for 3. That was the first out of the inning. The Phils still have runners at the corners. Pitch on the way to Boone. Swing and a foul at the plate. 0-2 to Boone. Expos playing their infield at double play depth. Boone looking for his first hit tonight. He is 0 for 3. He was on base with a walk in the 6th inning. Boone had a 3-run homer for the Phillies here on Sunday afternoon against St. Louis. Pitch to Bob. High fly ball deep to left field. Hold on. It's way back there. It is caught at the wall by Cromartie. Boone hit it way back. It was caught at the wall. Tagging at 3rd is Luzinski. He will score on the sacrifice fly RBI. And it's a 1-run ball game, but that's also the 2nd out of the inning. Right at the wall.
Boy, Bob Boone just missed being a hero on that ball. He just got under it a little bit, and he disgustedly throws his helmet. Cromartie put his back against the wall when he caught that ball, and he almost hit that thing out of here. And now that run that the Phillies gave up in the top of the ninth inning really looks big.
That run, like the first in the inning, charged to Stan Bonson. His log now complete. He gave up 4 of the 7 runs the Phils have. It's an 8-7 ball game, and it's up to Ted Sizemore, who is 0 for 3 tonight. He did walk and score a run. The pitch to Size, ground ball foul into the Expo dugout, strike 1. Hebner at first. 2 outs in the inning, and an 8-7 Montreal lead. What a battle for the Phillies. Canadian Bill Atkinson, who picked up a victory against the Phillies last year on the 10th of April when he faced only 1 batter, but he was the winner. Sizemore takes low in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Atkinson has a big curveball. He also throws the forkball. Jerry Martin has moved into the on-deck circle for the Phillies. He would be batting for Garber. Sizemore sends a ground ball toward shortstop. Spires scoops over to Frias at second, and this ball game is over. But the Phillies really battled tonight before losing it by 1 run. The Phillies here in the 9th inning played 2 more runs. They get 3 hits, and they leave 1 man on base. So the Expos win the ball game 8-7. We'll have the wrap-up for you in a moment.